And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Carlee Russell, oh boy, we're going to get into it. ABL, you're wrong. I make 1,000 videos a day. I get one wrong and everybody's mad. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Janet Yellen tripping on shrooms in China before a state visit. Well, actually, during a state visit. What kind of bird brain person does something like that? You want to get high on drugs, maybe don't go to work and do it. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Black American woman who went to Dubai got into an argument on the street and then got arrested as a result, and may be in a Dubai prison. Passport confiscated, all that good stuff. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the U.S. soldier who got detained in North Korea. Sir, what are you doing? You were locked up in South Korea. Get out. About to get sent home to the USA. You could be home free. What do? Rather than going on a plane to go back to Texas, you flee into the Hermit Kingdom. What are you talking about? Also, Luke Combs, is he racist for covering fast car Patricia Chapman? We'll talk about all those things and a lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. Pardon the unsmooth transition on the screen, but thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. We got a lot to get into today. Oh boy, we have a lot. We got a crazy show. But of course, you guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I got to give a shout out to the sponsors first and foremost. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. And check them out through the link in the box, or just visit the actual website directly, patriotpost.us. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. On the front page of the website, you can find articles for each video that I produce. So if you're ever wondering, hey, ABL, where's the full video? Where is the source? Where is this? Where is that? Go to the website, anthonyblogan.com, and all your questions shall be answered. And if you go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact, you can find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media links, Facebook, Twitter, Insta Snaps, all that good stuff is right there on anthonyblogan.com/contact. And I always say, every single live show, please do not get scammed. Ain't nobody got no time for that. If you reply to one of my videos on YouTube and then someone replies to your comment, actually, if they reply to your comment on one of my videos and the person looks like me and talking about some kind of sketchy thing, Bitcoin, Forex, call them on this number, text them on that number, it's not me. It's going to be some guy in Nigeria or a 4,500 pound person in Eastern Europe trying to scam you. Please don't do it. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Keep all your monies in your pockets. And I still get emails to this day talking about, hey, man, I trusted you. I thought you were my friend, and I sent some money. It's like, whoa. It was not me, okay? You got scammed by a guy on his bed eating fufu or borscht, either one, the African dish or the European dish. That's who you got scammed by. And they might have been eating the bowl of rice over in China or North Korea as well. So do not get scammed. Please protect yourself. Now, we got quite a bit to get through. Oh, also, I almost forgot. I'm getting so excited. ABLmerch.com. That is ABLMERCH.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ABLmerch.com. So patriotpost.us, AnthonyBLogan.com, and ABLmerch.com. All my links will be in the description. Also, this is a podcast you're listening to right now. You can hear this for free, audio only, no video, on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All right, we got quite a bit to get into. We're going to get into Carlee a little bit later. I'm going to save that one for a little bit later on. I want everybody to come on in. I got quite a few videos. I got quite a few things. I got quite a few topics to discuss. I got a whole lot going on. So y'all, please, please, please just hang in there. Hang tight. We're going to get through everything. All right. We shall get through it all. Now, where do I want to start? I'm not even really sure. I think I can show some videos here. I think that might make some sense. We can show some video. We can get into a few other things. There was one thing that I did not show, but it happened. Oh, here's a good one. I almost forgot about. I got quite a few things I've not shown you guys. Did I show the Kamala Harris video about reducing population? Did I show that one? I don't think I did. So I'm gonna show you guys that. Somebody in the comments, I was reading one of the videos, said, "Hey ABL, let's get some uplifting news." I was like, all right, I mean, okay, I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can dig up some videos of puppies and kittens and turtles and whatnot in somebody's fishing tank. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but we're going to get into it. So I think I got a couple of videos right here. All right. So I got a couple that are pretty interesting, and then I got some that are pretty funny. So let's just start where we're going to start. All right. I think, oh yeah. Okay. I got 2 queued up. I got 4 queued up, and then I'm going to put another one up. All right. So let's just do it that way. All right, bet. Hold on. Matter of fact, I got to play that Charles Barkley video. Did you guys see that where he was talking about Bud Light, and he was getting really triggered about Bud Light? Now, hopefully it's not too much cursing or whatnot involved, but he went on this whole big tirade trying to defend Bud Light. I have no idea why, but this might have been from a little while ago. Okay, let's go ahead and play the Charles Barkley clip. Then we're going to get into Joe Biden apparently being asleep at the wheel yet again. But, you know, I'd rather Joe be sleeping, taking a little nap, rather than sniffing children as he normally does, okay? Take a break from the kid sniffing and take a little nap. That's better, all right? So let's show Chuck. Charles Barkley, of course, Hall of Fame NBA basketball player, and now host on the TNT show Inside the NBA alongside Shaq and Kenny the Jet Smith and Ernie Johnson. Check it out.
This. I want y'all to drink this fucking beer.
Sorry for the cussing. All right. I didn't know it was going to be uncensored. But this is Charles Barkley at a bar, and he's telling people to drink the Bud Light. He's like, I don't know if he got stock in Bud Light or what's going on. Maybe he's upset that his stock portfolio is going down, 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 and it ain't coming back. Let's check it out.
I want y'all to drink this fucking beer.
I mean, that's not a very nice way to get me to drink the beer, Charles Barkley. I mean, I want you to really just kind of make me feel comfortable drinking the beer. I want to be kind of, give me a little serenade. You know what I mean? Don't be like, hey, drink this beer. That's a little bit too aggressive, sir. That's a tad, that's a skosh bit aggressive. I'm not really feeling that too tough.
I got 3 cases of Bud Light. Hey, and I
Hey, you know what? He might be drunk, Bob. He might be drunk. And if you get drunk like that from Bud Light, that's not a very good recommendation. You know, if I'm gonna drink beer, I don't want to have this super aggressive, I'm trying to fight every person in the whole world type after effect. I want to be smooth and calm and cool and collected, not trying to fight the entire planet.
If you're gay, bless you. If you're transgender, bless you. And if you have a problem with that, fuck you.
All righty, Charles. Okie dokie. So you heard what he said, and sorry for the cussing. I apologize for the cussing. But he says, if you're gay, bless you. If you're trans, bless you. If you got a problem with that, F you. It's like, all right. But like, so for you guys in the audience, if you were at one point a Bud Light consumer, and then because of them trying to go the woke route, the LGBTQ LMNOP route, you stopped, or another reason, did that convince you to go back? Are you now going to be a Bud Light drinker after getting cursed out by Sir Charles himself? Are you now going to be converted into a Bud Light drinker again? I know it really didn't do it for me. That's not a very good commercial. I want to see some people having a good time, you know, riding horses, galloping off in the sunset, something that's more easygoing and smooth and cool. Not this drunk man on stage, drink this beer. Anyway, I digress. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We got a few more to get through. Now, this is a more recent video of your man, Joe Biden. The caption says, Biden's presidency in a 25-second video. After 10 minutes of scripted softball questions, the fake journalist decides to ask Biden an unscripted question about hate crimes and violence being so hot right now. His handlers immediately attempt to end the interview, but Biden decides to answer. He confuses Obama for Trump and then says that what is currently happening 3 years into his term is Trump's fault. Okay, so we're in 2023, right? He gets inaugurated in January 2021. So we're approaching year number 3, hot and heavy. But things that are going on right now under his administration, we got to blame that on Donald Trump. Now, how long are we going to keep doing that? How long will the left keep talking about Trump, Trump, Trump? Like the whole thing with the weed and the cocaine. People are literally blaming the cocaine found in the White House on Donald Trump. How? So you mean to tell me that the cocaine was sitting in the cubbyhole for 2.5 years and they just now found it? Okay. I mean, come on. Let's please stop the nonsense. And speaking about drugs, we're going to get into that in a minute with your friend Janet Yellen getting high as a kite before her or during her state-sponsored visit.
But can we level set in terms of the soul of America? Right now, hate crimes are on the rise, random acts of gun violence. Women are under attack, Mr. President.
See, they were trying to, you saw that off the camera, they were trying to end it. And he's like, nah, I got it. Let me do a little bit of actual, let me speak for myself rather than being puppeted through this interview, huh?
Hate crimes are on the rise, random acts of gun violence. Women are under attack.
So you see that? See, they were trying to get it to end right there.
Mr. President?
I'll do one. The answer is yes, because that's why we cannot let this election be one where the same man who was president 4 years ago becomes president again.
But can we level set? So
did you forget his name? You said the guy who was the president before. You're about to say Obama, but it was not Obama. I mean, you forgot to say, can you not mention Trump's name? Is that illegal? Is that a violation of the Hatch Act? Like, what is going on? I don't really understand. This guy is just really old. He's super old, and they want him to be the president again. It's 2023, and he's pretty much at the end. The end is here. The end is nigh. So I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do going forward in the campaign. Maybe the plan is to not have him campaign and do the whole basement situation again. All right. So that's what that is. Let's keep on going here. Janet Yellen is 76 years old, way too old to be tripping on shrooms. I don't know what she was thinking. We're going to get into that in a minute. I have no idea what was going on in that pea brain. It's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going on a state-sponsored trip. I'm going to talk to the economy minister in China, the right-hand man to Xi Jinping, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get high right before. And not just getting high. I'm not just going to get high. Not a weed or a drink. I'm going to trip. And I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to completely alter my reality. Before I go too far into that, let's keep on going here. Now, here is your vice president. We just saw the president looking like he don't know what's going on, where he's at, who he is, what day it is, what century, what millennium it is. He don't know what's going on, right? Now, here's your vice president who is a lot younger, and I suppose she's more sound of mind. But is she really? Let's check her out.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population.
Huh? What? Did you hear that? Let's go back. So, of course, the subject matter is climate change, all that kind of stuff like that. But listen to what she's saying here. Watch this. Now, and I'm going to play it again, but do you guys think this was a fraudulent slip, or is it the exact thing that she wanted to say? Let's check it out again.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
So reduce population, is that what she meant? Did she mean reduce pollution? Reduce what? Like, I think she said exactly what she wanted to say. One more time, all the way through.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
You know, the funny part about this is that once you have a higher demand, as I've said before, when there's a higher demand for electric vehicles, you're going to have a higher demand for coal, because what's going to happen is you're going to put a big strain on the power grid. And the only way to short it up is with coal. Okay, that is what's keeping your power grid running. I mean, you could do more nuclear and whatnot, but the easiest way to transport energy to a particular place is to bring in coal. So they're trying to talk about there won't be any more coal mining jobs. Miners learn the coal, all this, that, and the third. But the truth is, coal mines are starting to open back up in West Virginia. They're doing regular, actual physical coal mining inside the mountain, deep below the mountain. The mountaintop removal, they're doing that as well. They are still doing a lot of coal mining. They're doing more coal mining now because of the rise of electric cars. And then they want to have all these mandates talking about you got to have a certain number of electric cars by a certain year in certain states. All you're going to do is just burn more coal. Just like the whole thing about they're trying to do certain carbon emission reduction in factories. All you're going to do with that is just move factories overseas to India, China, etc. So the same carbon that go up in the atmosphere here will just go in the atmosphere over there. It's going to be in the same atmosphere. Last I checked, China was not in a whole different world, a whole different Earth, a whole different planet. It's still going to be right here on the very same planet. And by the way, 30% of California's pollution comes from China. That's air pollution, water pollution, and land pollution. Fun fact, but I digress. Do we have more here? Oh, okay. So this guy, this is a mayor in Mexico. He got married to a crocodile. So you see right here, Mexican mayor married a crocodile in the colorful ceremony. Hey, man. Now, shout out to all the Mexicans out there. Do y'all know about this? Like, what is this some kind of cultural thing? I'm not really sure what's going on. Mexican mayor married a crocodile. Okay, this ain't the same thing. Now, my question is this better than, I don't know, the whole LGBT stuff going on? I think this is more of a ceremonial type thing. It's not really serious. I hope it's not serious. For my man right here, for Jesus or Jorge, hopefully it's just ceremonial and it's not really serious. All right. Okay, so what he's saying is, as we have explained, this is the union of two cultures. The union The Juaves and Chontales. This is the result of a problem between these
entre los Juaves y los Chontales. Esto a raíz de un pleito
two cultures.
entre estas dos culturas.
Para nosotros representa mucho.
So the crocodile is important because she is the queen.
Porque ella es la reina princesa que viene a brindarnos el agua.
Hold on. The princess who comes to bring us water, good harvest, rains. Okay, so it's a cultural ceremony. I get it. That's what I figured it was. I knew that it wasn't one of these weird things in the West where they literally get married to a crocodile and have it in their bed like a blow up doll or something like that. Okay, I get it. 100%. This makes sense.
El agua, pedir agua.
So it's talking about that the princess brings us water, good harvest, rains.
Pedir la cosecha, que venga bien, que las lluvias, para que Dios,
God the Almighty Father sends us food, fish, corn, a harvest.
Padre Todopoderoso, nos mande comida, o sea, los chacales, los peces.
So yeah, shout out to them. I saw that. I was like, really? Is that what's going on? But I understand. All right. Now we have one more video here. Oh, this was a good video. Shout out to all the firefighters out there. This was so for those who say, oh, Abby, you got to have more heartwarming news, more heartwarming stuff. Okay. I got a video for y'all. Then I'm going to get to the hard hitting topics. Then I'm going to get straight to the cocaine, the drugs, the hoaxes, the kidnapping, all the crazy 5 o'clock news. If it bleeds, it leads type stuff, right? We're going to get right into it after this heartwarming, nice little fuzzy clip.
Oh, wow. Hi.
So, of course, what you see right here, see a little boy being filmed by his mom or somebody, and fire truck pulls up with the lights, and you're going to see the firefighter get out, and then we'll just watch what happens next.
Gosh! Oh my gosh, baby! Oh my goodness!
Hey, buddy. You want a hat?
Yeah!
Here you go.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry!
Give me some knuckles. Have a good night, buddy.
Oh, thank you! Oh my goodness! Say thank you. That was so sweet.
So there you go. Shout out to the youngin' and the firefighter. You know, the firefighters, whenever they pull up with the truck with the lights, the little boys, they love it. Little kids, they love watching the lights and everything, and then the loud sounds. So yeah, and then for him to get out and give him the hat, that was heartwarming. So shout out to the firefighter, shout out to the family and everybody. Now we're going to get into some hard hitting stuff. Now we're going to get straight into it. All right, no more puppies and rainbows and sunshine. Anybody got no time for that, right? I'm hardcore. All right, so where are we going to go first? Where shall we go first? Shall we go to the U.S. soldier who got detained in North Korea? So check it out. This guy, the soldier in North Korea, let me see if I can find an updated video because they didn't show the guy's face. Of course, he's black, which is ridiculous. Why has it got to be us? Anyway, this guy is in the army in South Korea, stationed there. He got into a fight with locals in South Korea, and he got locked up there in their facility, in their prison or jail or whatever. He was there for like a month or two. Once he got out of the facility for, I think he might have been hitting cars, fighting people, he was under observation for a week. And then after the observation, I guess on base in South Korea, they wanted to send him back home to Texas, where he would have faced further action, disciplinary action by the military. Because you know the military, the way it is, you have the regular normie police, then you got the military police. They got their own system, their own way of being able to deal with things. So they were trying to send him back. They had a flight for him to go back home, and he had a military escort to the airport. But the problem is the escort cannot go all the way to the actual plane. It just got him to the airport. And once he gets into the terminal, he could just kind of do whatever. So he just did not go on the flight. And then he left the airport, put on civilian clothes, and then went on the tour to North Korea. And then he broke from the tour and ran across the border. Now he's detained by the North Koreans. Now, really, truthfully, if not for the fact that he could be used as propaganda, if not for that, you probably leave him there. And the North Koreans, let me back up a little bit. He can be used in different ways. They could say, okay, you're going to be a propaganda artist. You're going to be doing things for us. And if he doesn't want to do that, they could just go ahead and delete him. But we don't want that to happen, because either way is going to be a problem. If he becomes a propaganda artist, that's a bad look for us. One of our guys defects and goes to North Korea. That's not good. If he gets deleted, that's also not good, because then it's like, okay, they could just take our soldiers and kill them. Although he probably might need to go ahead and, you know what I mean? if he gets deleted, it might not be that bad of a thing. I'm not saying it should happen, but I'm just saying, you know, if you are in the military, you're in the U.S. Army, in the military serving, not a veteran, active duty serving, and you basically defect, I mean, that's at a certain point, that's called treason. And that could be punishable by, you know, getting the axe, getting the big delete. Go ahead and just send you out back like old Yeller. That could be how that gets punished. So if he was to get deleted, it probably, however, it's really, really bad for international relations, because now you set a precedent. They could just take a soldier and delete him, and it's no big deal. And then it makes us look weak internationally. China's right there. And of course, anything that North Korea does, China is going to endorse if they are allowed to do it. So that'll empower China, North Korea, and it'll make us look weak right there in South Korea, where we got troops. So it's going to endanger all of us in that particular region of the world. So they want to get him back. But really, if you ask me, I say they can have him. Go ahead. Whatever y'all want to do with him, that's on y'all. Because the guy, I'm not sure if he had mental problems. He was locked up. They let him out. They were trying to send him back home. Now, he would have been in jail or prison, the military prison in the United States too, but at least he wouldn't be North Korea starving to death. But he went over there, so it was like, what are you going to do? They tried to get him back, but he decided to not go there. Now, let me see if I can find the video. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously.
North Korea is saying nothing about an American soldier who crossed the border from South Korea yesterday. Private Travis King willfully walked into North Korean territory during a visit to the Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ there. Our Elizabeth Palmer knows all about that border between the two Koreas, and she's been following this story, monitoring the latest developments from London. Liz, good morning to you.
Good morning. Yes, Private Travis King was actually supposed to be on his way back to the United States from South Korea, where he was stationed after serving some jail time for assault. But rather than get on the airplane, he joined a tour group headed for the heavily mined border area between North and South Korea.
The DMZ itself is a strip of wilderness.
Let's pause right there. Heavily mined border. What they meant by that, if you didn't catch it, was that there's landmines right there. So I'm not really sure where the guy was specifically on the border, but he could have easily just blown himself up. Because if it was like off the beaten path and they say don't go there, there could have been landmines right there, and then kaboom.
Stretching 160 miles between the two Koreas. But Private King chose this place, famous for diplomatic encounters like President Trump's meeting with Kim Jong-un, to make his move. CBS News visited that area in February.
Ever since the beginning of COVID, when North Korea really sealed its borders, it's been virtually impossible for anyone to get in or out.
But it turns out all it took was nerve and will, because at the start of the pandemic, North Korea, for some reason, removed all the guards on its side. The tour group's bus had dropped them in the so-called joint security area of the DMZ. You can see the border between the two countries in red runs right through the buildings. One of the tourists there said they'd just left those blue buildings, known as Meeting Row, when the soldier bolted over the border. Private King was with the American forces stationed in South Korea. A U.S. official said he was being sent back to Fort Bliss, Texas, to face possible military discipline and to be discharged. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says he believes he's now in custody inside North Korea.
I'm absolutely foremost concerned about the welfare of our troops.
Keyword again, believes he's in custody. So what they're saying when they say that, in my humble opinion, is that he might be in custody or he might be dead. That's what I'm getting from that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Let me know in the comments. Because what else could that mean? If he's not in South Korea, if he's not elsewhere, and he's in North Korea, either he's alive or dead. If he's dead, then he's not in custody. He's just dead somewhere. If he's alive, then he's in custody.
Now, as you mentioned, North Korea hasn't commented at all on the incident, and it's going to be a challenge to get information about Private King, let alone access to him, because the U.S. has no diplomatic representation in North Korea, and most of the Western officials who might have acted for the U.S. were forced to leave during the pandemic.
So there you have it. That's your guy, Travis King. Now, we have a picture of him, and we have another video I actually want to show. You know, somebody said it right there in the comments, the woke military. The military is getting more and more woke-er, if that's the correct term. And you're going to have a hard time having quality men and women join the military. Quality men joining the military. You're going to have a hard time doing that because who wants to be involved with some of the stuff that goes on? All right. Now, I'm going to show the guy's picture. Then I'm going to show, matter of fact, hold on. I got a couple of pictures to show. I got a picture of the guy, and then I have a picture of someone that I may have shown before that kind of encapsulates what's going on. Then I have a video of something you got to see from the military. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Okay. And matter of fact, so here we go. This is perfect. All right. So here's your guy, Travis King. This is the guy that basically went AWOL, went into North Korea, and now they don't know where he's at. Maybe he's alive, maybe he's dead. That's him right there. Let me see if I can find out a little bit more about him. Let me see. His name is Travis King, private second class. He had been released recently from a detention center in South Korea. He was supposed to go home, et cetera, et cetera. Let's get rid of that advertisement. All right. Now, he also had got fined 5 million won, which is $3,942 for causing public damage and being uncooperative with police during his arrest. So you got this hood stuff going on over in South Korea when you're in the military. Like you're punching a South Korean national in a club, maybe a drunken bar fight. You're damaging the bar, maybe even the outside area, and resisting arrest. In the military, active duty, special forces, what are we doing? All right. So he also yelled obscenities at South Korean police as he kicked the doors and the interior of a police vehicle. All right. So, I mean, this guy's in the military. Now, I'm sure he was drunk. Now, I'm sure it wouldn't be the first guy in the military to get drunk and do something crazy like that. But you're going to have more people like this when you are having issues being able to recruit. You're going to have more of it going on. And you got to ask yourself, why are we having this kind of problem? Why are we having this kind of issue where a guy does all this, gets locked up, gets sent home, and then doesn't even want to go home? Oh, and they said when he hop crossed the border, he was laughing. Ha, ha, ha. Like legitimately, he was like giggling loudly. People heard him. They saw him do it and they heard him laugh. So it's like, there it is right there. One member of the tour group described the incident on a now deleted Facebook post saying that King laughed loudly, then ran between two buildings and eventually entered North Korea. He was one of 43 tourists in the group, and he appeared to be traveling alone, dressed casually in jeans and a t-shirt. So he was in civilian attire, not his military fatigues or anything like that. Okay. Was it 9:30 a.m. he was drunk? Well, I don't know if he was drunk or just acting a complete fool. They got clubs at 9:30 a.m. I think the whole thing about him doing this whole thing here was that he didn't want to go back to the U.S. for some reason. I don't know. Regardless of what's going on, the guy had issues. Now, let's go to maybe some reasons why we have a quality issue in the military. Now, this particular person, this she, her, is also in the Army. Do you see what's going on here? Huh? Look at this butte. All right. U.S. Army in uniform, right? My pronouns are she, her. Now, obviously, I'm looking at John Lovitz. I'm looking at the lawyer from The Wire. You ever seen The Wire? And then they had the Jewish lawyer. Shout out to all the Jews, Ladovador, L'chaim, all that good stuff. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm gonna put them on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Levy. Yeah. Levy. Shout out to Levy. That's Levy right there with a little bit longer hair. And a comb over. How you got a comb over with that's crazy. That's nuts, man. Like, what are we doing? I'm not very convinced. All right, hold on. I'm gonna show you Levy, and then you're gonna kind of see what I'm talking about. All right, let me put them on the screen right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Is that not him right there? Same guy, ain't it? If it's not, I can't tell. A whole doppelganger to me. It's a whole doppelganger to me, like the same person. Okay, like I said, he grow this out right here on the side a little bit more, and then take a little bit of that from right here on the top and do a little swoop bang on the top of the head to cover that up. Then you got the she, her. You know what I mean? Same person. I feel like it's the same guy. Maybe it's a whole act. Maybe we're being bamboozled over here. Maybe, you know, it's a big game that's being run on us. I can't really tell what's happening. All right. So maybe this is part of the reason why we can't recruit anymore in the military is because of these kind of shenanigans going on. All right. You got your buddy right here with the she, her pronouns looking like Levy from The Wire. All right. And then we have this individual right here. Here is a TikTok video. It says trans Army soldier talks about coping with gender dysphoria while on duty and trying to feel like a woman. All right. So remember, we got a pretty big, a pretty consistent thread here. Travis King, Army. The person, she, her pronouns, looking like John Lovitz, Army. This particular individual right here of unknown pronouns, Army. And we're wondering why we got guys that are kicking in doors of vehicles or whatnot in South Korea, low quality people coming into the force. Why? How are you going to recruit anybody of quality when you got stuff like this going on? Why would you want to be part of it? Why would you want to be 18 years old and a quality man or woman, a quality young man, and then go to the Army or any other branch of the military? Now, shout out to all the vets out there. I love the military and I love you guys as well. But what's going on right now in the military is a problem, okay? And we got to be able to fix it to get it back to the way that it should be, representing our country proudly and faithfully, all right?
Hey y'all, so today I'm going to make a video showing how I cope with gender dysphoria while in uniform. If you don't know, when you're an active duty soldier who is transitioning genders, you have to go by standards that align with your gender in CAC and DEERS until that is changed. This means that because my gender is a male in CAC and DEERS, I cannot present as a female in uniform. I have a few ways that I find help me cope with my gender dysphoria while on duty, and I'd like to share them.
So we're admitting that we have gender dysphoria. That's what this person is saying. So why are you allowed to be active duty, in uniform, military with a mental illness? I don't understand. If you cannot be in the military, if you're obese, got certain vision problems, diabetes, things of that nature, and if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. There's certain things that you cannot have if you want to join the military. There's a test, there's standards. If you cannot have like a vision problem and be in the Army, then why can you have a clear mental? He just said he has gender dysphoria. He said it himself. So what are we doing?
I'm gonna be honest, they're not a lot, but they do help me. The first thing I do is wear clear nail polish. According to regulation, men are allowed to wear clear nail polish while on duty. When I'm in uniform, this makes me feel a bit more feminine because my hands feel pretty when my nails are painted. The second thing I do is wear feminine scents. There is no regulation for what scents you can and can't wear. Pretty self-explanatory this one. Smell feminine, feel feminine.
Okay, I've had enough. I've had enough. I was trying to play this, but I promise I've had enough. All right, I don't know what's up with this particular, 80s action movie reject extra. Talking about something I'm putting on scents and clear body. I'm finished with this particular person, but this is going on right now. This is real in our military. That is a man. Yes, this is a man. He says he has gender dysphoria. He said it. I'm gonna play it at the beginning because I don't want anybody to try to say that I'm saying the wrong thing. It try to flag me. Oh, you're misgendering. All I'm doing is repeating what this particular individual said. Okay, that's all I'm doing. He said he's a male and he has gender dysphoria, and he's trying to find ways to cope with it in the military. Yo, exactly, J Flow. Send that meteor. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Yo, send it right now because this is ridiculous, man. How are we going to get out of this?
Today, I'm going to make a video showing how I cope with gender dysphoria while in uniform. If you don't know, when you're an active duty soldier who is transitioning genders, you have to go by standards that align with your gender in CAC and DEERS until that is changed. This means that because my gender is a male in CAC and DEERS, I cannot present as a female in uniform.
There it is. He says his gender is a male and he has gender dysphoria. So it is what it is. Whatever this particular individual's pronouns are not my concern. At the end of the day, when you were born, it said, okay, congrats, Mr. X, Y, and Z, Mrs. X, Y, and Z. You got a brand new baby boy. Okay, slap you in the high part, start crying. You are a boy. XY, male, dude, hombre, senior, all that, right? El Jefe, that's you. The point I'm making is we got a problem. We're going to have low quality recruits, low quality people because of the things that are being allowed in our military. All right. The days of my dad, my granddad, my uncles and all of them, my uncle that died in Vietnam, all of them, those days are behind us. Okay. Your days of your pawpaw and whatnot in the war is over with. And I wish we can get back to a sense of normalcy. I'm not quite sure what it's going to take, but something's got to give. All right. Something has to give. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Someone said, did he say Captain Ears? I have no idea what he said. All I heard was male. I didn't hear exactly what he was saying, like what he was wearing. If you guys heard that, he said you cannot present as female in something. I don't know what he said. Y'all let me know. Shout out to all the military guys out there, every branch, whether you're active, whether you're a veteran. Shout out to you guys. I know you guys that are watching me do not like what's happening in the military. I said it before. My doctor was in the Navy, and he told me that he left the Navy because he was, like, during this pandemic, he was seeing healthy 18-year-old men. I'm talking about they could run, jump, swim. They could do everything. Healthy 18-year-old men ready to go out there and tackle the world, physically fit, peak condition. After they get the shot, they are in the hospital 2 weeks later with heart problems. He's like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't watch this happen. He had to actually leave the Navy because of that. He had been there for like 20 years. Okay? That's what's going on right now. But yeah, shout out to all the vets. Shout out to everybody active. You guys hang in there best you can. Okay, so Atomic Tabasco says that he was saying cap and gear, which is a uniform. So he cannot be in a uniform presenting as female when his gender is male, because that's just not what you do. And he said he has gender dysphoria. And you know the reason why they admit to having a mental illness beyond it being accurate is because when you have that in the military, you get a free sex change. All right? On a taxpayer dime. Now, speaking about taxpayer dimes and dime bags and other things, Janet Yellen. Now, Janet Yellen, I have no idea what was going on in her mind, but Janet Yellen went to China and got high on shrooms. She was tripping on shrooms. Now, I don't really understand. I don't get it. I have no idea what was going on. Okay. We're going to get into, there's not many news videos covering it. I wonder why. Maybe it's pretty embarrassing when you go to China and get high during a state-sponsored trip and act a fool in front of Chinese dignitaries, but I digress. Now, I think when this happened right here, as I showed in my previous video, I think what happened right here was during the meeting with the Chinese Vice Premier Heartwarming, who was like Xi Jinping's right-hand man. He's the economy chair or something like that. Y'all please forgive me if I'm saying the wrong thing. But Janet Yellen is our Secretary of the Treasury. This is an important person. She was there on a state-sponsored trip to meet with Chinese officials. But what does she do when she gets there? Gets high. Now watch this. Okay. Now, this is not what you do. You don't do all this jazz right here. I'm going to play it a few times for you guys. Now, I was saying in my video that if you're going to do a handshake, you do a handshake. If you're going to bow, you bow. But you don't do both at the same time. Number one. And number two, you don't bow if you are like an official. This ain't Japan. This is China. You don't do that bowing if you were like a Janet Yellen. You don't really. And if you're going to do that, you most certainly don't at the same time shake hands. It's enough. If you're do a handshake, that's enough and it's fine. She was bowing, which is not appropriate for a person like her to do, while at the same time doing the handshake, just doing way too much. And you could see that somebody was trying to prevent her from even going down that road, but to no avail. See, look at this, all this jazz right here. And you see a hand to like trying to stop her from doing it because she realized what was happening immediately. The guy right here has his back erect. He's not doing any bowing at all. So that's something else. You know you're doing the wrong thing when it's not being mirrored by the other person. Okay, there's zero reciprocity going on. My back is straight up, giving you a handshake. You doing all this jazz right here. It's a mess. And I think the reason why she was doing this is because she was high on them shrooms. Now, look, my thing is, if you're going to, shout out to all the drug users. I'm not really into that myself. That's not my thing. But I would presume that if you are a person that uses shrooms or any kind of other drug, you're not going to go to work and do that. If you like to drink, I would presume you're not going to go to work drunk. You're not going to go operate a forklift while you done had 15 cans of Bud Light. Well, not Bud Light, but you know what I'm talking about. You're not going to do certain things. It's a time and place for everything, right? It's a time and place. Now, let me go to the article right here. You see what's happening. Shout out New York Post. They say Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen dined on psychedelic mushrooms in China. All right. This is totally crazy. All these ads are getting on my nerves. Let me just go ahead and scoot that out the way. So Janet Yellen, 76 years old, and she did this right when she got to China. So this is during the state-sponsored trip, meeting with Chinese dignitaries, officials, people in government. You don't do stuff like this. So she's 76 years old. She gobbled 4 portions of Zhongshan. Okay, I'm going to try to pronounce this. Shout out to all the people that speak Mandarin, Chinese, whatever it is. Zhongshan, a type of wild mushroom, when she dropped in at a casual Beijing restaurant soon after she arrived there on July 6th. Chinese state media reported in an effusive story that took care to praise the secretary's chopstick skills. But the funky fungi are known in their native province of Yunnan for their unpredictable psychedelic effects. You thought you were walking straight, but you just fell sideways. One gourmand told the Xinhua State News Agency in a report about the shroom's potent powers, published after only Yellen departed. Now, do you think that she had 4 portions of these mushrooms and didn't know what they were? When's the last time you went to a restaurant and just ate mushrooms by themselves? Okay, when have you ever done that? Now, I've eaten mushrooms before, not shrooms, but regular mushrooms, like, I don't know, in a soup or something like that, but never just shrooms. I've never gone to a restaurant and just say, hey, you know what I want 4 portions of just these mushrooms by themselves. I've never done that. You do that and go to that particular place because you know that these are psychedelic mushrooms. You're trying to get high. What are we doing? You're 76 years old. Why would you do something like that? You have to know what you're going to eat, where you're going to eat, because you can get poisoned. Anything can happen. You're Janet Yellen. You're an important person. Why would you just, I don't know. There's got to be a taste tester. There's got to be a food tester or something. And it was not just her. It was her entire entourage with her. Now, I'm not really sure who's in Janet Yellen's entourage, but it was somebody. I'm not sure how many Golden Girls she could put on one private jet to Beijing or wherever she was, but I digress. The whole point is that they all had the mushrooms, gobbled them up, and she probably was high as gas in New York City or San Francisco, all right? Now you got to ask yourself, what are we even doing? Must you be high on drugs to work in the White House? I understand how DC culture is, regardless of whether it's Trump, Biden, Obama, Slick Willie, WHW, whatever. I know how DC culture is. It's LGBT, and they're getting high on drugs, and there's a lot of fornicating going on. I know what it is. I'm from Virginia, been to DC a lot. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. But we got to be in the White House doing that. We got to be on state trips doing that. You can't wait to go to an island, to a resort like Camp David somewhere and do something like that. I don't know. It's weird. And then they had a lady from, it might have been CBS News, basically kind of endorsing the whole thing about the shrooms. Let me see if I can find that right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let's check it out. So CBS News, this another Golden Girl, right, with the little brunette short bob wig, done came on to also eat the shrooms. Now check this out. Watch this.
She's been dubbed the Treasury Goddess, or the Goddess of Wealth.
So if you don't know what's happening right here, this lady went to the restaurant in China where Janet Yellen ate, and the restaurant made a menu talking about Janet Yellen, and everything on this particular special menu is what she had with her entourage, right? And then they're calling Janet Yellen the Treasury Goddess and the Goddess of Wealth in Chinese. Real talk.
And there's a special menu that shows all the things she and her party ordered significantly. This is the big hit, the mushroom dish. This is it. The dish that Janet Yellen and her entourage ordered 4 times.
So they ordered this particular plate of mushrooms 4 times. That's a lot of mushrooms to eat. I've never eaten that many mushrooms before, and I've never had shrooms, but I've never had that many actual just regular food mushrooms without the drug capability in my life, let alone the drugs. Again, I've never had the drug shrooms. I was offered that when I was in high school and whatnot, but I heard so many stories. I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna just be over here playing basketball anyway.
Orders up. It's porcini mushrooms for some relative, cooked with chili, and it's delicious. It's also a bit of a political message. The fact that Yellen's people chose this restaurant signaled that they want to engage in Chinese cuisine, but in culture, broadly speaking. And the Chinese government, by allowing the restaurant to advertise that she's being here, is also signaling they're interested in more engagement.
So why are we trying to promote shrooms? Why is that a thing that is now the rage? I said that in my video. I said it before on the show. I said it before. I was like, look, the way things are, they try to put a particular drug in the taboo spot when one drug leaves it. The whole thing with weed going on right now. Now, I don't care how you feel about weed. If you like to smoke weed, whatever, that's your business. It's not really my cup of tea. But once they took weed out of the taboo spot, meaning it was kind of legal, kind of illegal, now that you can just smell weed smoke in a mall right next to a children's play area, which ain't really right, but whatever. Weed's everywhere. It's not really a big deal anymore, right? So it's like, all right, well, what are we going to put right there in that taboo slot that weed used to occupy a few years back? Well, how about shrooms? Let's let it be the next thing. It comes from the earth. It can be used for depression, to reduce dependence on SSRIs, all kind of stuff like that. So now you got these news stations actively promoting shrooms. This lady just ate shrooms on TV. Like, she literally just ate the drugs on TV. I mean, that will be unheard of a few years ago. That just wouldn't happen. I've never seen that before. I've never seen somebody shoot up drugs on CBS. Maybe that has happened, but I've not seen it. I've never seen anybody smoke crack. I've never seen a news reporter get on camera and smoke crack. But she just ate shrooms right there on TV. And it's not even a big deal because now that's kind of in a taboo space. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just shrooms. But a few years ago, that wouldn't happen. So once that becomes regular, mainstream, legalized, as it's happening right now all over the country, it did that in Denver, Colorado, if I'm not mistaken, legalized shrooms. What's going to be next? Outright heroin, cocaine, crack, like Hunter Biden? They found baggies, not just one instance of cocaine in the White House. They found baggies in the White House, and it's not really a big deal. Oh, don't worry about it, ABL. It's just a little bit of cocaine in the White House, though. So what if it was anthrax? What if it was some kind of explosive powder or something like that? Would that not be a big deal then? But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Hey, that's right, Andy. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this stuff up. You can't. All right. Oh, somebody says it right here. Chrissy says, I see billboards in Missouri advertising mushroom therapy. Yep, there you go. Right there in the billboard. Eat shrooms. You would not have seen that 10 years ago. But I'll tell you what I did see a few years ago, CBD and all kind of stuff like that. Now it's just regular. And since that's become regular, okay, mushrooms. And then what's next? They've already decriminalized cocaine and heroin on the left coast. Hold on. I think it was in Portland. Let me see if I can find it right quick. All right, hold on. Let me see. So I'm not quite sure if it's still in effect, but here's an article from 2021. Oregon's pioneering drug decriminalization experiment is now facing a hard test. So last fall, Oregon voters decriminalized possession of small amounts of almost all hard drugs, taking a groundbreaking step away from the arrest, charge, and jail model for possession that's been a centerpiece of American drug policy, blah, 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 blah. So Oregonians overwhelmingly passed Measure 110, that makes possession of small amounts of cocaine, heroin, LSD, and methamphetamine, among other drugs, punishable by civil citation akin to a parking ticket and a $100 fine. And that fee could get waived if you get a health screening from recovery hotline. So call a number, they waive the fee. And they're probably not going to enforce it anyway. You probably want to get locked up for unpaid fees, right? So is that still the thing right now in Oregon? Can you have cocaine, heroin, crack, whatever, meth, all of that? Can you smoke meth in public and not get arrested? Is that what's going on? And then, people are going to say, well, legalize all drugs. All right, take a look at the left coast. Take a look at places like Kensington, Philadelphia, where you have open air drug markets. You got The Walking Dead literally happening. Is that what you want? Do you want to live in a place like that? Because people, they don't really think about these are real places people live. Like, you could live in a low income area and the drugs are going to be right there. Now, if you're in a nice area where the crackheads aren't just traipsing around, it's okay. But then when you live right there in it, then it's a problem. Like when I was in Virginia still, when I was back in the day, I was like 14. I said the story before, but I'm gonna tell you again. So I'm 14 years old. I'm in Portsmouth, Virginia, and they tore down this housing project called Outer Barber. And if you're from there, you know what I'm talking about. They tore down Outer Barber, And my neighborhood was pretty quiet, but it was the occasional shooting. You got to get on the ground or whatever. You know the whole drill. Hear gunshots, get on the ground. It was the occasional shooting like that. Low income area, but it wasn't necessarily a bad neighborhood. It was just low income controlled apartments, the typical routine. But when I got to be about 13, 14, and it's about high school time, they tore down Arthur Barber and they gave them vouchers to come to other like low income apartments in the area. And our neighborhood was one of them. Our relatively quiet, the occasional violence neighborhood turned into an animal house overnight. Crackheads on your door all hours of the night, loud music, shooting, just a mess. Just a mess. And with the legal drugs coming in, if that was to be in the mix, I mean, it'd be like, you ever seen New Jack City, the Carter, where the whole building was taken over by the drugs? Like the guys that are making the drugs took the whole thing over, and then people were in there congregating, getting high. And then some are going to say, well, if it was legalized and it wouldn't be guys on the street doing the drug selling, all this and that, and the third, it'd be regulated. I mean, fentanyl is legal, but it's not at the same time. It's regulated, right? And that's what causes the street stuff. If you're going to just let fentanyl be on the street, you're still going to have these shooting galleries where these crackhead dope fiends come to congregate. They're still going to be engaging in a bunch of illegal activity to get their drugs, because if you legalize the crack, the meth, the fentanyl, or whatever, they still got to find a way to pay for it. It's not going to be free. They're still going to be engaging in a lot of the X work. They're going to do that. They're going to do a lot of the stealing, a lot of the killing, a lot of the just straight senseless crimes. But anyway, my point was my neighborhood became an animal house overnight. And if you would have had legal drugs in it, you already had drugs involved, a lot of crackheads. But if you had just the influx of drugs, it would have been much worse. Oh, Amsterdam. Yeah, Amsterdam was exactly. And shout out to NEM or NERN. Amsterdam and The Wire, the TV show, it was this particular area in Baltimore in the show where drug selling was legal. The problem was people actually lived there. And then people started to get shot, killed, all kind of stuff. And it was crazy because when they found the body of somebody that got shot in Amsterdam, what they did was try to like move the body out the way. Oh, and speaking about Amsterdam, which is Kensington, Philadelphia in real life, like there's a real Amsterdam in real life that's called Philadelphia in the neighborhood of Kensington. You ever seen these videos online of Philadelphia and the guys leaning over doing the dope fiend lean? That's a real place called Kensington. Anyway, somebody was in there filming, doing a documentary or something like that. Some normie, right? Some green normie. They spot somebody that was like, they appeared to be unconscious. Maybe they weren't really breathing, so they call the ambulance. When the EMT gets there, he's like, yo, who called this? Why are you calling me? And then the fiends are like, oh, no, it wasn't us. The EMT was like, why would you call this? Because look down this whole row right here. They're all like that. Why are you calling me for? So people are just decaying and dying right there on the street and nobody cares. Anybody going to come save them? If they die, they die. So what? That's the general attitude. But anyway, I digress. I told you I'm getting into the if it bleeds, it leads. No more puppies and nice videos. I'm getting straight into the hardcore stuff. All right. And we got a whole lot more going on. Can we get into the Dubai arrest? Now, we're going to get into Carlee Russell in a minute. But first, matter of fact, you know what? Let's do Carlee Russell right now. Then I'm going to get into the Dubai arrest afterwards. Carlee Russell. Now, I was wrong. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I don't trust or believe anybody. I got a problem, actually. I trust nobody. So I try to give the benefit of the doubt sometimes, just sometimes. You know, if my heart's telling me, hey, man, you know what? Have a heart this time. Have benefit of the doubt. I follow it. And I was wrong. I'm usually not wrong. Sometimes I am, and I'll admit it. I was wrong as wrong could be about Carlee Russell. This is a hoax. So Carlee Russell, we know the whole story. Well, the story that was told to us, right? We're going to get into an update of what actually happened, but here is what we were told. Now, the first story was Carlee Russell had went to Tzatziki's, the Greek restaurant, and they got a lot of good food, by the way. They got one here. I go all the time. I love it. Anyway, I digress. She went there to pick up food after she got off work. I think for her and the mother. She's 25 years old, lives with her parents, her mom and her dad, Carlos and Talithia. Therefore, Carlethia, get it anyway. She's going home to mom and dad's house with the food, talking to her family, whatever. She says that she sees a baby on the side of the road wearing a diaper. There's more details I didn't know about, but this is what we heard at first. Then I'm going to tell you the new details. Baby on the side of the road. Now, she calls the police and reports the baby on the side of the road. There's video of her putting her flashers on and pulling to the side, but you can't see a baby and you can't see her. You don't see anybody. You don't see anybody kidnapping. You don't see any human beings in the video they released. Anyway, all you see is the vehicle pulling to the side of the road. She calls the police. Then she calls her sister. And at a certain point, they lose communication. They lose direct contact. But the actual phone line was still open. Now, according to the family member, the sister, she says that Carlethia screamed. She heard her scream. Then she heard interstate noise. And then that was it. So now she's missing. The parents, the family organized a whole big search party. They got black folks, white folks, the whole neighborhood, the whole town, Hoover, Birmingham, Alabama. They got everybody out there trying to find Carlethia. Now, it turns out that this was all made up by her. And I don't know the motive. I don't know the reason. Let's go back a little bit. So there was no baby, according to the police. They saw no signs of a baby. And there was no signs that what she said happened. So the new details are it was a white baby wearing a T-shirt and a diaper. But the child was like 3 to 4 years old. Is that a diaper at that age or what's going on? I don't know. Then she said somebody came from the woods with orange hair, a white guy with orange hair, and then kidnapped her, put her in the back of an 18-wheeler and tied her up and fed her Cheez-Its the whole time. See, look. They got me on the first bit of information. But that, right, if I heard that, I'd be like, come on, Cheez-Its in the 18-wheeler? Huh? Is that what happened? Where's the 18-wheeler? Cheez-Its? Why would they feed you that? And then she said she had to fight for her life, all kind of stuff, and then get freed. The parents went on TV, did an interview, and said that their daughter was abducted. She was fighting for her life. When she came back to the house, she was in a bad way. They had to take her to the hospital, all kind of stuff. So you got your mom and dad involved, Carlos and Carlethia, your namesake. Your parents been together for forever, got you a nice Mercedes-Benz. You're living in had a beautiful home in the suburbs in Birmingham, Alabama, and Hoover. Beautiful home, nice family. She don't got no kids. She going to school, got a boyfriend. They were just in New York City on a little trip. So what's going on? Why would you even do this? Well, from what I'm reading, and it could be incorrect, they said that she had got caught stealing or something like that. I'm going to get into what was on her phone as far as the searches. She was at her job trying to steal from the register or something like that, or she wanted to, and she was not doing well in school, about to flunk out of school, all kind of stuff. Okay, so she had some kind of elaborate scheme to escape, but why? I don't know. I don't see the motive beyond just stupidity. Because in the case of Juicy Smouye, it was an obvious case of some political stuff. So it's dark 30. It's 1,000 degrees below 0 Celsius. Arctic blast, polar vortex. You go outside to get a Subway sandwich, eat the sandwich, put rope on your neck, and some guys with MAGA hats, white guys with MAGA hats, emerge from the darkness talking about it's MAGA country. Right away, it was political. It didn't make any sense. It was just nonsense. And then the case of the one guy that had the barbershop talking about somebody came in there and sprayed swastikas on the wall and took the flat screen TVs from the wall. And then he got found with the flat screen TVs in the back of his pickup truck with the drywall still on them. So he literally just ripped the mounts off the wall and put the TVs right there in the back of the pickup truck. With no tonneau cover, no nothing. No tarp, no tonneau cover, just out there in his pickup truck. It's like, sir, I mean, we can see you right here with the truck. Some of these stories make no sense, and from the jump, I didn't believe them. And it's all people saying that I believed her because she black. I don't care. The race thing didn't matter. It didn't matter with Juicy Smollett or anybody else. Some say it's because she is attractive. I mean, she looks okay. Personally, it's not really my type. She got kind of that hood rich type style going on. Nothing against her looks. I'm not trying to attack her looks. I'm just talking to people that say that her looks play a part in it. She wasn't really my type. I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because I don't believe anybody. And I'm going back to that now. I don't believe anything. You could tell me it's 80 degrees outside. I go outside with a thermometer to double check you. And if it's 79 degrees, I'm going to call you a liar. If it's 81, I'm going to call you a liar if it's 81 degrees. So when I saw her right there, I'm like, that's not my type. And they kept showing this picture. I'm like, why are you showing that picture? Y'all can't find a better picture than that. You know, nothing against her. I'm not trying to make fun of her looks. I'm just saying, when I saw this picture, I saw like a regular normie. I didn't see anything that would be, that don't really float my boat. You understand? But I digress. Let's not get too graphic. We got little kids watching. Anyway, so now let's get to the phone record, shall we? Yeah, a 5 at best. But again, don't misunderstand what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to make fun of her. Anyway, let's get into the phone records, shall we? So what do we have here? What do we have? All right. I think there's a couple of things I might want to get through or show you guys. All right. Let's do it that way. Yeah. This might be the same thing. It might not be. I'm kind of doing it on the fly. That was racist. What I said it was racist. I ain't saying nothing racist. Anyway. So here's her search history before disappearance because she's on her phone looking for certain things, right? She's looking for certain things on the phone through Google. And of course, when the federales or the police and the feds are involved now, by the way. And before I continue with this search history, she should get locked up for this because what's going to happen is others will be copycats. The same thing took place after Justice Smollett. I was wondering, why are all these people trying to copy Justice Smollett when obviously what he did got found out and it was fake? The issue is that people think that there won't be any kind of consequences. They think they can do what he did better and they won't get caught. And if they do get caught, there won't be any consequences. He didn't get locked up. He didn't get in any trouble. It was just embarrassing. I'm going to do it better. I'm not going to get caught. I'm going to get money. And that's what it is. So if she doesn't get in trouble and she don't go to the penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks, or jail or a fine or something, you're going to have copycats. And what's going to happen is people really will get kidnapped. And when they do get kidnapped, they're going to say it didn't happen because Justice Smollett, Carlee Russell, it's fake. I'm not even trying to hear it. But here's what they found on the phone. So Tuesday, July 11th, 7:03 a.m., quote, you have to pay for an Amber Alert. Thursday, July 13th, 1:03 a.m., how to take money from register without being caught. Thursday, July 13th, 2:35 a.m., late night, burning the midnight oil. A search for a one-way ticket from Birmingham to Nashville. Now, if you don't know, it's not very far, actually, because that's a border state. It's a straight shot, straight up the interstate to go to Nashville. It's probably about a 3-hour trip in the car. Matter of fact, let me see if I can search it right quick. Yeah, 2 hours, 49 minutes. Yep, it's a straight shot. You go past Huntsville, and once you pass Huntsville, you're right on the Tennessee line, and you go straight to Nashville. That's about 3 hours max in the car, so that's not very far at all. Why are you going to Nashville? Go to Atlanta. You get some backup in Atlanta. You can blend in escaping Atlanta, Nashville, you're going to be a sore thumb. Okay. Carlee Russell in Nashville, what are you thinking about? Go to Atlanta, ain't nobody going to find you. All right. Okay. Let me go to the next one here. So here's more of the same. You got to pay for an Amber Alert, how to take money from register without being caught, Birmingham bus station, one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville, and then Taken. That's something else. She was Googling the film Taken, and there was an old tweet from her that said Taken 2 is her favorite movie. Maximum age for Amber Alert. So she's saying you got to pay for an Amber Alert. What's the maximum age for an Amber Alert? So I'm not sure what the plan was. Was it to call her parents and have them take out an Amber Alert for her? Was it to take out an Amber Alert for herself? I don't know what it is. But this right here kills any kind of argument. The details about how she got from point A to point B, because obviously somebody took her, meaning it was set up. She probably pulled over to the side of the road, and then somebody put over with her. Might have been a friend, sneaky link, boyfriend, not the boyfriend she went on a trip with, but somebody else. Somebody was in on it with her that got her from the point A to point B. Somebody was with her, okay? But she left her wig, the Apple Watch, the cell phone, the car with the keys in the ignition, all of that. All of that was left right there. And for what, I don't know. She was gone for 48 hours and just walked right back. Now, we got to figure out, okay, who brought her back, where she was, all that stuff. That doesn't really matter because, well, it does matter for detail's sake, but we know that when you do stuff like this, when you search for this, you know automatically it's fake. Taken, the movie about abduction, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. And I don't see the motive. I've not heard about a GoFundMe. I've not heard about any kind of political connection. I've not heard about anything other than her just acting crazy. Now I'm hearing rumors about mental illness, mental health, all kind of stuff like that. I'm hearing about that. That could be going on. I think that's ultimately what's happening. But, you know, people always talk about mental health. I think that's an excuse. Okay, if you go shoot up a building, oh, I'm mentally ill. I didn't know no better. Well, you still went to go to the gun store and got the ammunition and loaded it and then had a plan with a bulletproof vest, Kevlar helmet, and you shot 15 people. I mean, I'm not trying to hear your mental health excuse. Maybe you are mentally ill, but guess what? You're still going to the penitentiary and you're going to make big rocks to little rocks. So what's really going on? All right, let me find out more here. I'm reading some of you guys' comments. Y'all please forgive me if I'm not able to see all the comments right there. All right, let me just go to YouTube and see if there are more local news reports about Carlee Russell. All right, let me check it out right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okie dokie. All right, let's see if we can get a news clip. And let's check it out.
Breaking news out of Alabama tonight on Fox 5 News at 5. We're learning more about the disappearance of
So the boyfriend got a GoFundMe. $65,000 was raised. Okay.
Carlee Russell. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Tom Haynes.
And I'm Alex Whitler, in for Courtney Bryant. Police officers in Alabama say Russell called 911 last Thursday. They say that she was calling to report a child wandering off the interstate. 2 days later, after a massive search, she returned home. Officers say before she disappeared, Russell took a robe and toilet paper from her job. She then grabbed food, got on the interstate.
Toilet paper? Like, what's she going to do with that? Where are you going? A robe and toilet paper? Oh, she actually went to Target, bought Cheez-Its, snacks, got a robe, toilet paper. Where are you going? What are you doing? Let's back up a little bit.
They say that she was calling to report a child wandering off the interstate. 2 days later, after a massive search, she returned home. Officers say before she disappeared, Russell took a robe and toilet paper from her job. She then grabbed food, got on the interstate, and called 911. Police say they also found several suspicious searches on her phone.
On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term
you have to pay for an Amber Alert was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, how to take money from a register without being caught, was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th.
Authorities say they don't believe there's any threat to the public. We will continue to follow this story and bring.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of what's going on right there. There was a full press conference. It's like 40-something minutes long, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see how long it is. We're not going to play it. It's like 23 minutes long. I'm going to do a video about this tomorrow, the update, where I say I'm wrong. And then I'm going to link to everything in the description box of that video. That'll be on the website tomorrow. That'll probably be my first video, the 1 o'clock video for you guys on tomorrow. But yeah, so Carlee Russell, crazy boat-faced liar. And then the thing about it is now her parents are involved. They got on TV and were basically about to be crying, talking about she did get abducted, all kind of stuff. So the parents got to come out and say something. But ultimately, Carlee should get locked up for this, because if she doesn't, that's going to inspire copycats, because they feel like, okay, if I do a thing like this, I'm going to do better than she does. And they got these harebrained schemes that don't work. They always get caught. But they feel like if they do get caught, then there's like a low risk. You see, okay, I'm going to put it to you this way. If there was no penalty behind robbing the bank, if you got caught, then more would do it. Because here's the mentality. It's not a very smart thing to think about, but this is the mentality of a criminal. Okay, I can rob the bank. If I don't get caught, then I get rich, right? If I do get caught, then I won't go to jail. I may get embarrassed, but I won't get in trouble. That's the mentality. So you're going to see more things like this happen if there's no penalty. Because they're going to feel like, if I'm able to get away with it, I got a big bag. I'm a victim. Look at me, blah, blah, blah. I got a big bag. I'm so smart. I'm going to do better than what they did. And they always think they're smart, but they're really dumb. And they feel like if they get caught, then it's no big deal. No harm, no foul. I ain't going to get in trouble. It's going to be embarrassing on social media for a while, but after a while, they forget about it. That's the mentality. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, so that's what's going on. Nah, the dad's there. Listen, the dad's there. They have both of their parents on TV. Somebody says no father. Nah, that's what's perplexing. The mom and the dad were there the whole time, from the moment she was missing up until just now. They did interviews and everything. And Carlos and Talithia Russell. Carlethia, get it? Carlos, Talithia, Carlethia, Carlee. Mom and dad there the whole time, living in a nice house, suburbs, all that. Matter of fact, hold on. I'll put some on the video so you can see what I'm talking about. That's what's so perplexing. I'm like, what do you don't have any kids, ain't no baby mama stuff going on. You got your life going well for you. What is the problem? What is the actual issue? What am I not seeing here? Why would you do something like this? It just, there's no rhyme or reason. Trying to get some money from a GoFundMe, really? When you 25 years old, living with your parents, and you got, a job, I don't understand. Hold on, let me just play this right quick, and let me keep on going. All right.
We turn now to a case we've been following. It's a strange one out of Alabama.
Yeah, the parents of the woman who vanished for
public appeared on their doorstep.
So that's a house right there. Look at that. That is a nice house. Okay, I can tell right there. You got the outdoor brick facade, the welcome sign, nice little door. That's, you can see through it. See, that right there is a sign of a good neighborhood. If you can see through the front door and it's not really a big deal, you're living in a good neighborhood, right? Nice home, looks well manicured, landscape, grass cut, edged, everything. So what is the deal here?
Step after being missing for more than 48 hours.
What did you do when you saw her?
Mom and dad right there. They go Talithia, they go Carlos. and they've been there the whole time. Now, his face right here, I don't know what's going on, but the mom and dad are there for sure. Been there the whole time. So are they in on it? And why would they be in on it? I want to know more about this story. I don't want to just go away and be like, okay, well, she was telling a lie. No. Because now I'm triggered. All right. I got a little bit, I got food here. I got bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray. So now y'all I got some explaining to do. As Ricky Ricardo would say, I got some explaining to do about what's happening right here. All right. It's a mess. It's a crazy mess. But I want all the details. We got to get a spy or a private investigator to get down to the nitty gritty and the bottom of what's going on. Exactly, J.R. Williams. New from ATL, 100%. Absolutely. 1,000%. Perfect explanation. All right. So that's pretty much the update on Carlee Russell. Got to get her locked up. Ain't nobody got no time for this lying. Ain't nobody got no time for the games. People do get kidnapped like that. I've heard it before. I've seen it before in real life. No hoax. Things like that do happen where somebody gets lured into a situation. They get kidnapped for a short period of time. Then they get let go. Remember the thing in Mexico where people got kidnapped? And it was kind of a discussion about that. Well, it did happen. Now, the details of that is still kind of up in the air, but people are still going to be skeptical because it's like there are so many hoaxes that go on, so many things that happen without the full story. It's like you can't really believe anybody anymore. You can't believe anybody anymore when things happen. People could die. People could get tortured, abused, or whatever. Man, look, I don't believe it. Justice Smollett, it's a hoax. Carlee Russell, I don't believe it. It's a hoax. And then it turns out to be real. See, that's the biggest problem here. When people commit hoaxes and get a lot of attention because they're believed to be real at first, there's a lot of investment behind it. Let's find her, all this and that and the third. Prayers out for Carlee. And then it's a hoax. She went to the hotel she worked at or whatever and got a robe and some toilet paper and some Cheez-Its. It's like, all right, well, all of that energy, all that time, all that attention for what? To get food, to get made a fool out of, to get bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray. The next time somebody goes missing, I'm not going to believe it. And then that person might be a real person. They get found somewhere, chopped up. Oops, oh well. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You can't believe ABL anymore? Well, hey, don't do it. Okay, believe your mama. How about that? I'm getting triggered. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. But yeah, anybody can be wrong though, so it's fine. I ain't tripping. But I won't say that too much more about myself, about me being wrong, because I'm usually never wrong. You know, but sometimes it's just like I have to be wrong just to be human. Because if I'm never wrong, then it's like, yo, are you AI? Are you a robot? Like, what's going on? So, yeah. But in the future, I'm just going to be myself, which is to not believe anybody. You tell me that it's raining outside, I'm going to actually go physically outside to check. And if I'm not getting wet, you're a liar. It is what it is. All right. So we have a whole lot more going on here. Oh, and I don't want to pick on black women. I love black women. For real, for real. If you know me, you know me. It's not even about black women. This is about, we can't be doing stuff like this and just act like it's okay. Okay? And I feel like it's not even the racial thing because I'm seeing issues all over the country from different races. The LGBT thing, the people just lying, acting aggressive, fighting violence. It's not even a black, white. It's just we have a problem in society where we feel so entitled to do whatever we want to do with zero penalty. And then when we go abroad or when things get critical, then it's like nobody's accountable. I didn't do anything. You know, that's the kind of mentality we got going on. When these kids grow up to be LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z, the people that took their kids to drag queen story time don't want to take accountability. oh, I had no idea. I didn't know. He just happened to wind up that way. It's like, well, ma'am, since he's been 2 years old, we've been putting him in dresses, just like Charlize Theron, raising the boys just like girls, putting them in dresses and all kind of stuff like that. It's like, well, you're molding these kids into this. You're molding them to be confused. So why act like you don't know what's going on? Please be accountable for what you do. Anyway, so the woman in Dubai. Now, this woman, the sassy trucker, she has a YouTube page where it's like a whole genre. It's like lot lizards become truckers. I'm sorry for that reference, but I had to say it. I had to say it. It was on my mind. But she's a little bit more than that. She's to some she's attractive, a little bit big for me, not really my cup of tea, but I'm not hating. I'm not here to judge looks. I'm just saying her genre on YouTube is that she's showing her body off, wearing skimpy outfits at the same time trucking. That's her whole thing. There's a whole subgenre of that on YouTube. A lot of women do that. And I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm just saying that's what she does. Now, she took a trip to Dubai and wanted to be the first female trucker over there. Now, I'm not sure if she would be or if she wouldn't be. I don't know any statistics on that. But she took a little vacation to Dubai, went over there, and was doing vlogs and everything else, right? So she's in Dubai, and then there's an issue. She got into an accident in the rental vehicle, and then when she goes to try and retrieve her belongings from the vehicle, she's not able to do it. She's got to pay some money. Now, we're going to get into a news clip, and I think there are different ways to interpret what happened here, because some say that it was one thing, some say it was something else. We're going to get down into the potential issues that could be happening here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Let's check it on out.
On Fox.
And once I play this video, you're going to see what I'm talking about. If you've not seen this yet, you'll get it when you'll see the whole lot lizard comparison in a moment. All right, let's go ahead and roll the footage.
The last 2 months are described as terrifying for a Houston woman who we're told is being detained in Dubai.
Fox 26's Domely Keith joining us live near downtown Houston with why she's being held. Domely.
Well, the crime she's charged with may surprise you, and Dubai is increasingly becoming a vacation spot for a number of Houston women. One who's there right now, according to her social media page, is trying to get back to the Bayou City, but according to her mom, her passport has been confiscated because she was charged with screaming in public.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
The trip turned terrifying for Tiara Young Allen when her mom says she was a passenger in a friend's rental car and they got into an accident there in Dubai.
So key thing, she was not driving. The friend rented the car. All right. So key details, we got to just keep an eye out and an ear out for. Let's keep on going.
Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money.
Pause right here. Now, here's where it gets tricky. She was a passenger in the rental car. The car gets into an accident or wreck or whatever it was. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a single car situation, if they hit a pole, it hit another car, or whatever's going on. Okay, so after that accident, she wants to go back to the vehicle that she was a passenger and not the driver. She's a passenger, and it was not her rental. It was a friend's rental. She wants to get items out. And the guy's like, hey, you got to pay some money. Now, this could be one of two things. This could be extortion, which does happen to Americans, especially overseas, or it could have been that there was damage done to the vehicle and they had to pay and they did not pay. Somebody was saying they didn't do the insurance on the vehicle and there was a big ticket to pay and they didn't pay it. So if you're in Dubai and you have a bill that you cannot pay, like, I think there's no interest on debt. Y'all please, if I'm wrong, correct me. But you got to pay your money. You got to pay that if that happened. Since they didn't pay it, you can't get her items. Now, regardless of what's going on, it could have been extortion or it could have been a debt, an actual legitimate bill that had to get paid. Either way it goes, you don't handle it how she did. Let's keep on going.
She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says, resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice.
Quanell X. Okay, sir. You're an activist out there in Houston. Shout out to you. Okay, but what are you really going to do about a young lady in Dubai? How are you, like, your words are going to fall on deaf ears. You ain't speaking no Arabic. You just a guy in Houston. You're concerned about somebody. I get it, but it's not going to make a difference over here. You're getting the word out there. You're getting the news out there to the U.S., but it's not going to help her in Dubai.
In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
Now, is it about raising her voice, or is it about the fine that didn't get paid? Which is it about? Let's get to the bottom of it. Now, before I continue with that, the way to handle the situation, either it was a legitimate bill that had to get paid, or it was extortion. Either way it goes, you go to a U.S. consulate in Dubai. Go to the U.S. consulate and say, hey, here's the situation. What do I do? You're trying to argue that right there on the ground in Dubai. It's not going to go well. It's not going to go in your favor. You're not at home. You're not in the U.S. You can't be doing all this head snapping, finger rolling. It don't matter if the guy was starting it, so it doesn't matter. That is irrelevant. He could be right about not having rights in Dubai as a woman. Okay, and you're not in America. See, I always say that America is the best country on planet Earth. Why? The freedom. Now, it might be a little bit too free sometimes. We got drag queen story time. We got these LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z marches. You got these men flashing and twigging berries everywhere. And by the way, speaking about men flashing and twigging berries, I think it was Marjorie Taylor Greene had a House meeting, a House hearing today or yesterday, and she had this big picture of Hunter Biden's images from the laptop where he's nude in inappropriate positions, right? There's a big hubbub about that. She shouldn't have done it. It's a big deal that she did it, but there's no big deal about men flashing and twigging berries in front of little kids at pride marches, but different story. I digress. The point is that we have a lot of freedom here, sometimes too much, but go overseas, go to Dubai, go to China, go to Iran or somewhere and do stuff like that, man. Look, big rocks, little rocks immediately, okay? They're not going to play no games with you. They're not trying to talk. They're not trying to argue. Look, pay the money or don't. You want to try to fight? Okay, go to prison. Simple.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
This website warns, quote, laws and customs are very different, so be aware of your actions to ensure they don't offend while in United Arab Emirates. Now, after Baxter says her daughter was charged with screaming in Dubai, her passport has been taken, and the American social media influencer who works as a truck driver can't leave the UAE, according to her mom. And her mom says she's been placed under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation.
It's very frightening. The longer she's been there, the more reality has started to kick in.
In our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
Now, the 29-year-old does now have an attorney there in Dubai, and her mom says she's told that she could face jail time because there is surveillance video of her screaming. Now, we have reached out to the U.S. and the UAE embassies. Will government officials step in and give her assistance? I'm still awaiting responses. Reporting live near downtown Houston, I'm Damalee Keith, Fox 26.
So that's what it is. I mean, you got to love America because the freedom we have over here is unmatched. It's unmatched freedom. You don't have that everywhere, all over the world. And when you go and travel, you'll realize it. You realize that the freedom is just not available everywhere. And hey, we'll see what happens. I mean, right now she's in the joint in the clink, Big Rocks, Little Rocks. We're going to see what the result of that is. Now I'm trying to find one particular image that I saw. Hold on, there was a poster about tourism in Qatar or Qatar, however you want to say it, and there was a bunch of warnings on the poster. If I could find that right quick during the stream, I will go ahead and throw it on the screen. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, on the poster, they were like, no dating, no. It was quite a bit of rules quite a few things you could not do in Qatar. All right. And a lot of that is all over the Islamic world. Holding hands in public, short clothing, that type of stuff. You know, you just can't do it. All right. You just cannot do it. And it is what it is. Here it is. Now, some say this is fake, but it doesn't. It's pretty much right on it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that right quick. Qatar welcomes you. All right. Let me see. Oh, they're saying it's fake, but is it fake? They're saying the poster is fake, but is it? All right. It says it contains incorrect information, not from an official thing. All right, hold on. I think that it might have been from an original. All right, I ain't gonna show it. All right, hold on. Okay, never mind. But you get the idea. I'm gonna show it anyway. But they're saying it's fake. So alcohol, homosexuality, immodesty, profanity, places of worship not respecting those, loud music and sounds, dating. You know, a lot of these things, they say it's fake, but a lot of these things are real over there. I know alcohol is kind of taboo unless you're like a top person. Homosexuality is going to be an issue over there. Immodesty, not dressing appropriately, especially like in a religious place. If you go to like a mosque, obviously anywhere around a place like that is going to be a problem. If you're wearing short pants as a male, that might be an issue. Loud cursing, loud talking, dating, holding hands, kissing in public. Those things like that are not really things you can do over there. Yeah. Now, whether you're going to go to jail or not, it depends on where you are specifically. You know, that kind of, it depends on where you are specifically. They say it's fake, but that's not really, they say it's fake, but it's real. Okay. Put it to you that way. Yeah. Ain't gonna be no pride parade in Qatar. Okay. No pride parade there. All right. Let's keep on going here. Did I get everything I wanted to get to? Let me see. Janet Yellen, Dubai. Oh, Washington Post, right quick before we get to the next thing. I'm going to cover the other thing about the, hold on, matter of fact, do I have that video? Okay. Jason Aldean. I'll cover this quickly. Now, can I play this? I might not be able to because it's music. Shout out to Dom Luker. Posted this. So Jason Aldean, I'm not into country, so y'all please pardon me. I don't really know who that is. But he released a song called Try That in a Small Town that rips into the left-wing riot, soft on crime, governance in cities, gun control, and other leftist degradation. Now, I'm going to play the actual video without the music because I know they're going to try to strike me on it. So you see kind of what's going on. You got what appears to be like a Capitol type building with a flag in front of it. All right. And then we have just a music video going on, some riots and whatnot. It's just showing that. Now you got to kind of imagine what's going on. Or you could just go find the music video for yourself. I cannot play music here. We're on YouTube. They're going to strike me. But y'all, please search Jason Aldean. You see what's going on here. They got riot footage. So this particular video right here, I think got banned by CMT, Country Music Television. They said, we don't want to have this on our air. They said it was like, it was white supremacist and racist and all types of stuff. I'm seeing that all over the place. Hold on. Matter of fact, I think I have a written description about it. I have a written description that I want to find right quick. Yeah. So shout out to Jason Aldean and everybody else that they're making music about what's really going on. All right. So let me see if I can find more. All right, here it is. So Brian Krasenstein, one of these guys, one of these super leftists on the Twitter spheres. All right, Jason Aldean song canceled. As someone who thinks the whole Antifa narrative that the right pushes is mostly exaggerated BS, I have to say I think it's quite pathetic that CMT has basically canceled Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town music video. Before I post the lyrics, understand this: rioting is bad, breaking into stores to steal merchandise is bad, carjacking and injuring police are bad things. These things could legally get you shot. Now, keep in mind, this guy's a big leftist, right? Brian Krasenstein. All right, that's him. Let's keep on going here. Nowhere does Aldean ever mention race or make this political in any way. There are legitimately bad things that people do and say. Aldean's song is not one of them. People need to stop overreacting and start listening. So there's lyrics right there. Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool? Well, act like a fool if you like. Now, people are saying that's racist right there. Talking about liquor stores and carjacking. If you think that's racist, then you're racist, because last I checked, liquor stores and carjacking was not just exclusively black things. Okay. When I was in DC in 2020, before the J6, I was seeing the remnants of Antifa and BLM, and I saw Antifa and BLM in person. These are black, white, everybody. It was everybody there of all races. It wasn't just a black thing or a white thing. And they were tearing up liquor stores. They were doing all kind of crazy stuff. So to say that it was one race by these lyrics is racist in itself. All right. Also, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, I think you're tough. Now, in the video, they showed a white woman spitting on the cop. A white woman. So how is that racist? You know, like, and when I say racist, I mean, how is it trying to like attack black people? That's what they mean when they say racist, because you could be racist toward anybody. But what they quote unquote mean is that they're trying to attack blacks. How is that the case when you saw all races in the video? Black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe. Anyway, there's more here, but the video got canceled. He's being called a racist because of the lyrics in the song. Somebody said it right there. Crime is universal. That's 100% correct. And during the BLM George Floyd riots, I was seeing crooks of many colors on the scene. All right. So shout out Jason Aldean and shout out Brian Krasenstein, a big time never Trumper, liberal leftist who had to say that it was not a racist thing. All right. All right. So yeah, shout out Jason Aldean. The song is called Try That in a Small Town. Y'all, please look it up. Check it out for yourself and draw your own conclusion about it. All righty. We got super chats on deck, and we're going to get to the calls in a minute. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. We'll get to that in just a minute. Y'all, please hang tight. Thank you to LW304-2003, who says, salute to ABL for giving Carlee Russell the extreme benefit of the doubt. I did. Never again. I don't believe nobody. I don't believe any of y'all. Y'all say, good show. I'll be like, you're a liar. Thank you to Lothair, who says, psychedelic mushrooms are fun, but there's a time and place for everything. If you're taking some shrooms at your job, not professional. Exactly. Thank you to Rebel Way Out of Reason, who says, I was talking to a client who was an Army recruiter. He said the North always has trouble meeting their quotas for enlistment. The South always meets their numbers and beyond consistently. Well, there you go. And probably a big reason for that is what's going on up there in the North. It's probably more drag queen story times and crazy ridiculousness up there than it is down here. A lot of the woke stuff happens up there and not so much down here. And they think they're better than that. But that's a good response. Thank you for that. Thank you to Blessed, who says, only acceptable time to be drunk is at the bar, at home, or calling up on ABL show. There you go. Thank you to Ben, I ain't gonna say your full name, who says, Yellen is higher than inflation. Oh, yeah, higher than inflation, higher than the kite, higher than gasoline in San Francisco. High as high could be. All right. Thank you to Jen F, who says, love to stay to roast you about the hoax, but not feeling well. We will watch the playback. Well, hopefully you feel better and hopefully enjoy the show so far. Thank you to Monique Price, who says, it's been crazy to see just how much drugs are just A-OK, especially shrooms. Those were considered taboo just a decade ago. Now you see ads for them online. Exactly. 100% correct. You know what else I see online? I see ads for heroin, actually. I get emails. Natural morphine. What's that? So you see where we're going. We're going to become a drugged up society, and a society that's drugged up, not sober, and that relies on the federales to provide their drugs for them, because a lot of this is big pharma, by the way. And we're trying to, like, we were over in Afghanistan, and when we were in Afghanistan, the production of poppy was through the roof. Now that we're gone, it's down. Why? Why is the poppy production down now that we're gone? Is there a reason? Anyway, thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says her description of her objectives was racial, orange hair, white truck driver. They touch her hair. Come on, man. Yeah. See, I didn't hear about all that until the very end, where they revealed that she made phone calls and was doing these searches and stuff like that. I didn't know that till the very end. Thank you to Air to the Ron, who says RFK Jr.'s Heal the Divide is a play on MLK Jr.'s Healing the Divide. We may see just a Trump campaign with RFK as the VP. That could happen, for sure. Rebel Without a Reason says the 911 call operator asks, are there any other cars around? She says no. And the video shows us a lie. Yeah, there were other cars around. Thank you to Boomhauer, who says, she got me too, ABL. Don't feel bad. Hey, man, you know, I got it happens to the best of us. We all get got sometimes, and I got. Never again. I'm not going to believe nobody. You tell me that I had a good show, you enjoyed it, it was a good call, I'll be like a liar. I ain't going to believe nothing. I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I mean. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's get to the calls. The number is always in the description and also on the ticker, 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. It is all good. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. All righty. Now, see, she had her wig off, so he was playing with them basketball player braids, them straight back. I don't even know what to call them. Wesley Snipes. Hold on, let's keep on going. Your line speaker 2208.
Hi, ABL. I hope you're doing well.
I'm well. About yourself?
I am a sad, bamboozled black woman, actually. So, okay, obviously I want to talk about this because, first of all, when I first heard the story, I was, like, terrified, paranoid, all of that, lost sleep. Because as a young black woman myself, I cannot promise you that I would not stop for a child on the road. I can't say that, you know. I mean, in hindsight, if the story was real, it's dumb to get out of your car. But, again, this was, like, meant to pull on your heartstrings. But the fact that she lied, and, you know, when Candace Owens had her suspicions on the Twitters, I was like, no, Candace, don't do this. Don't say this is true, because I can't imagine this being fake. And the fact that she was right, I mean, not surprising because, you know, Candace Owens, we love her. But, like, dang, this really makes us look bad. And now, like you said, now the next time somebody goes missing, we're not doing all this. And as fast as social media can bring you up, it will tear you down. quickly. The jokes are rolling. And I'm like, I mean, I'm talking about Cheez-Its and Subways are going to do a promo together. Like, it's very funny. But also, it's sad that, you know, she did this to us. And then, you know, like her parents as well. I'm not going to lie. I can forgive them for the Saturday. They were doing everything that they were supposed to do at that time. But like by yesterday or whenever they did their last interview, what are y'all talking about? Be serious, because the Google searches, and like initially I'm like, this can't be fake because this girl is not stupid if she's in nursing school, this, that, and the third. But like, and now I can't even question her intelligence. I just doubt its existence completely. Because what do you mean you're Googling, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? Like, you sound dumb right now. You pulled your wig off on the interstate. Like, I can't. Anyways, the girls are down by like 50 points this week. And then you have Miss Ma'am in Dubai also being dumb. Like, I enjoy traveling. I've been to Dubai myself with family and all that. And it's great. You know, I like traveling and exploring cultures. But what I don't do when I go traveling, especially if I'm by myself or with just a group of females, what I'm not going to do is get drunk and get high and do all this, that, and the third. Because you have to be vigilant, especially in a place like Dubai, especially when you're going to Egypt, especially when you're going to these places. Be vigilant. Like, why would you put yourself in this kind of situation? I don't know. It's very unfortunate if she's being extorted and all this, that, and the third. But you have to, like, think about the consequences of your actions. Anyways, that's all. It's just very sad. And we've reached a dark place. And also, what's her face? Gigi Hadid she's actually being detained in the Cayman Islands for weed. I'm like, you're not paying attention at this point. Anyways, that's all. I'm sorry. I had to rant. Triggered.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Great call. Great call. Shout out to her. Now, I was reading the comments. Somebody said that I'm not responding to everybody. They said I can respond on Twitter, but not here. I mean, it's a lot of comments that go by, and I talk a lot for the whole time, so I can't talk for 2 hours straight continuously without stopping and also respond to each comment that comes up or even see it. I don't even see 90% of the comments when I'm talking. When I'm taking the calls, I see more, but still I can't see everything. But yeah, shout out to the caller. Great way to start the show. Let's keep on rolling here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. 804, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. My name's Byron Hirano. How are you doing?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. ABL, I'd like to talk about that female trucker in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, who's locked up.
Yes.
You know, ABL, I lived in Kuwait for 15 and a half years, lived and worked there. The news is not being totally accurate, nor are they're truly telling the story. They're in the Arab states. You cannot use profanity. My wife lives there. She's Filipino. Raising your voice, even as a female, they don't mind that if it's legit. But if you start using profanity, everybody there knows the foul language of Americans. They know the F word. They know the B word. I guarantee she did more, ABL, than just raised her voice. She lost control, self-control. She acted like she acted here in the United States. Probably started dropping some F-bombs and B-bombs, and they called the police, and now she's in hot water. Yeah, ABL takes more than just raising your voice, even as a female. I guarantee it. And ABL, thank you. I just wanted to say that. Wanted to set the record straight. You have to do more than just raise your voice to get locked up in the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, the Arab states. So, ABL, have a good night, man. Thank you.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
That makes perfect sense. That makes all the sense in the world. You know, you did more than just raise your voice. You were cussing and acting up, things that you can't do over there. So when I showed that graphic from Qatar that says no profanity, that's right on point, ain't it? Obviously. Who am I speaking to? 757? Can you hear me, caller? Hello, 757. All right, don't get cold feet now. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. 859, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going? Happy to be on the show. What's up?
Everything's all good.
It's your Luciferian friend, libertarian friend here, calling up. Hey, I heard about that whole thing with Dubai and that truck driver. And, if you're going to another country, the first thing you got to do is know the rules and know how the culture is. And honestly, she doesn't seem like she's well educated with where she's going to,
Right.
And right now, as we speak, I'm trying to learn Japanese because I'm trying to take a trip to Japan sometime to go ghost hunting there sometime. So I have to learn their rules as well and abide by what's going on in respect to their country. Because if you're going to another country, you got to respect it, or you're going to get yourself in hot water. I think it was a kid back in 1994 who I don't remember what country it was. I think it was in Singapore. Yeah, Singapore. This kid spit out bubblegum on the streets.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not joking with you. Oh, you heard about that. This guy got whipped 10 times with a Singapore cane off of a punishment. He spent, I think, 5 years in prison for bubblegum. It's like, you got to be kidding me. It's insanity. In the United States, that would be that's insane. But in Singapore, that's the rules. It is what it is. And so, that's why, thank goodness, I'm a United States citizen, and thank goodness I have the freedoms that I have right now in comparison.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, definitely. And plus, I made that comment. You probably saw that comment about the shrooms and stuff like that. It's like, hey, it's fun to have fun. There's a time and place for everything, to get drunk, to take shrooms, to do anything. But if you're a professional person in your job, especially the United States government, you're messing up if you're going to get high on the job. Come on.
Right. You don't want to do that.
Professional, man. Oh, definitely. It's just, and if our leaders in our country are doing this kind of stuff, I have no faith in the system at all. And they wonder why your common day man dislikes the government as it is.
Exactly.
Hey, most definitely. I was going to put a few points out there, man. Hey, love seeing the show, man. Talk to you later, bro. Much love.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, no problem, man. On the live chat, if you are drinking a little bit or smoking a little bit, 111 on there. Yes, sir. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. But yeah, you wouldn't be drinking, smoking, all that kind of stuff. Try not to do that on the job, maybe. That might help you out to not get in trouble. Not be like Janet Yellen, bowing crazy, looking a hot, crazy mess. Yeah, you don't want that to be your reality. That's not the way that we're going to go about this. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 615 here on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, baby? It's Boomhauer, man. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Man, she got us all, didn't she? I think everybody got by that girl.
Yeah, I think so.
And what's bad is, so we was watching, so I went to see The Sound of Freedom with Rebel Without a Reason and Mrs. Boomhauer. We all three went to go see Sound of Freedom the day before. So here you go, the very next day, this girl gets kidnapped, and I'm all tore up about it, and my wife's like, oh, no, you telling the truth? I'm like, yeah, it's all over the news. Look, I was showing it to her. She's like, oh, no. So she falls into it. And then I was, the next morning, I'm driving down the road, and I drive by Tzatziki's, and I see the store, and I go, oh, man. And my wife's like, what was wrong with you? I said, man, that's the store that girl was shopping at, man, when she's trying to get food for her mama. So I saw them my feelings, and my wife laughing at me because she's like, man, that girl had you. I'm like, I know, but I knew it was crap when she came back home, and they said, what happened when she walked in the door? They're like, nothing. We just let the paramedics have her. So what? The paramedics were chilling in the house with y'all watching TV, waiting for her to walk in the door, or what? Like, it just don't make no sense. None of it made sense at all, So it's just ridiculous, man.
Nah, but I'm with you, though. Like, the whole thing, I wanted to just give it the benefit of the doubt from the beginning. But as more details came out, it just started to kind of, and of course, today, with all the cell phone stuff, it just killed it.
Yeah, it did. It killed it, man. But I tell y'all what, I want to say one thing about you, man. At least you owned up to it. You do it. It ain't like you wrote it in stone or nothing like that. You just did a show about it.
Right.
You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? You just did a show like, hey, you did 2 shows going, hey, man, the girl is lost. And then the girl was found. And everybody's like, ABL, wrong. But, hey, man, listen up, y'all. I met ABL a couple weeks ago. What you see is what you get. He's a straight-up dude. The way he acts on this show is the way he acts in real life, man. He's just a straight-up dude, straight-up man. And, man, that's why we love you so much, dude. You do a great job out there, man. Keep up the good work, man. We'll see you soon, all right?
Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right, buddy. See you.
All right, shout out to Boom How. I appreciate that, man. But, yeah, I got this one wrong. Ain't going to be wrong no more. Well, hey, we'll see about that. We'll see how that works. All right, James, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, how you been?
It's been all good, man. About yourself?
I'm all right here. It's a bit of a heat wave, but I suppose that's happening everywhere. It's just
oh yeah,
it's very humid here. You walk outside and you feel like you step into a sauna. Making my hair do all crazy things. Now I really do look like Conan O'Brien. Anyway, I heard somebody was coming to Japan, ghost hunting or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think my the earlier caller was talking about that.
Yeah. Good luck with that. I don't know how many ghosts are here. They sure like them though.
Oh, is that right? Is that a big thing in Japan? The ghost hunting?
Ghosts are a big thing here. I mean, there's these animes that kids like, and Yokai Watch is one of them where it's kind of like Pokemon, but they catch ghosts. It's not really that much of a real thing, but there are dead houses here, and those are fun. People die, and then the house is left because nobody wants to move in. They really think there are ghosts or something, or they think it's haunted or it's spooked or something. And so nobody will buy the house, and the house, sometimes they're nice, like really nice. And you can pick them up for $1, the equivalent, because nobody else wants to buy it. You just buy it straight off the government.
Right.
And then you just renovate it. And there are a lot of folks who do that here, actually. And so if you want to go over there, that's kind of fun. So anyway, that's something about your caller. But yeah, cultural appropriation here, they don't care about. But please do obey the laws for sure. It's kind of stupid not to do that anyway, but whatever.
Exactly.
I don't understand why it's like people don't understand what the law is there for in the first place, and they want to flaunt it. Have you guys seen these videos of this dude going around in Japan?
Yeah, I've seen that guy. I mean, I don't understand the purpose. It's like, okay, he's a streamer, I suppose, trying to make content, but it's like you're risking
trying to get clicks.
Yeah, of course. But you're risking your life maybe here, your freedom definitely. I don't really get it. I don't get the purpose.
Well, I think he knows how far he can go, because I think he's what's that kid's name in the States that's doing it, and or in the UK that's doing it.
Yeah, it's about Mizzy. Yeah.
Yeah, and Brits are nice. There's a big difference between nice Brits and nice Japanese. Japanese will be nice to you for the sake of harmony and peace and politeness. But if you go too far,
then they'll go too far too. They'll go over.
Well, it's kind of funny because my neighbor lost one of his little segue, but sort of not really. Those Apple EarPods. One fell out on the steps as he was coming down from the station. I don't know why people buy those stupid things anyway, but they're really expensive. And one of the plus sides of it is it has a GPS in it. So he could see on his phone that it had fallen down the steps. He saw it fall down the steps, and he's looking for it. And there's so many people, it's a crowded Japanese station, that he can't get a hold of it. And suddenly it starts moving. And he's like, huh? Uh-oh. And so he follows it for a while, but it doesn't stop. And so he just goes home and he figures he'll track it down the next day. Turns out it's at an apartment building about, half a kilometer from where we live. And his mom's telling my wife about this story, and she's like, what's he going to do? He can tell what apartment building it's in, but obviously it won't tell you what floor it's on.
Right.
So I was like, just go over there and just ring every doorbell. And they don't have the courage to do that.
Right.
And so I said, well, I'll just go. And I go over there, I put on my Navy hat, I take my glasses off, and I just stood at the door and I was like, I'm looking for my other iPod or earpod, whatever. And they're like, it's not here. Thank you for calling. And I was really polite about it, mind you. But couldn't find it. Every apartment. And so we go to the police station and just kind of report, well, look, it's lost. He wasn't even willing to do that. They're that nice. He wasn't even willing to do that. And the police were really nice about it. They're like, well, we'll maybe write up a sheet because I know they're expensive and put it in the elevator. And if somebody finds it, and things like that normally show up. I wasn't very hopeful. I'm on my way to church. 15 minutes later, I get a phone call. Somebody had turned it in. I'd scared him to death. My point being that though they may be really nice on the surface, underlying it's not.
Right.
And if you push too far here, they'll break, and it's not usually in a nice way. So sticking to cultural norms is really important. But this kid who's streaming here, he's pushing as far as he can without going too far. That girl knew exactly what he was trying to get her to say when he was going to say the N-word. And she's like, just pretending stupid. They're not stupid. Trust me. I mean, they're Asian. My daughter beats me in math, and I'm an engineer. So anyway, funny side story. Well, funny to me. Everybody's probably bored with it, but anyway. Yeah, big American scares Japanese. That's right, Duke. That does happen, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can just scare somebody standing on the train sometimes, but anyway. How's everything else going?
Everything's good, man. Just, enjoying the show tonight.
Yeah, the callers have been really good. The chat's been really good. I gotta head to work, so I'm gonna have to go. But it's good seeing you guys. It's been a while, so you guys, anybody come to Japan, hit me up.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Have a good one. See you guys.
I shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Shout out to Japan and everybody out there. Let's go to
rolling his eyes. I need to stop, bro.
832.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tiffany Sidbury calling in. Where's both of us? It's me and my wife. We got a lot of issues we want to talk to you about on here today. We just caught your show. It's a great show, and we ain't lying, by the way.
All right, hold up. We got some noise in the background, and are you on speaker?
Well, let me turn. We're watching you currently. I'm sorry. I'm the one with the YouTube, but my husband wants to share his. Well, me and my husband want to share our thoughts on this Carlee Russell because we caught your.
Hold on. Before you start, you gotta turn the noise off in the background for me, please.
Okay. Is that better?
That's much better. Now, are you on speaker as well?
Yes, we are.
If you could turn that off for me too, that'd be good.
Okay.
You can go first.
Okay.
Tell him that was me there.
Yeah, he that was him. Oh Lord, my husband is a little extra. But
how old are you still?
Well, we've been following the Carlee Russell story. And the thing is, like, I kind of knew it was wonky. She lied to the police. I really feel like, I feel sorry for the girl, because it sounds like it was attention seeking, very attention seeking. And I don't know what's going on in this girl's life that she had to do all that. And then she has her parents on here, standing behind her looking. I'm a mother of 4, and I would be just, oh my goodness, so embarrassed, but they have to stand beside their daughter, and it's making them look totally insane.
Yeah, they definitely, they probably were told a certain thing by her, and they wanted to support her, or they could have been lied to. But I think, I think that, they might have been lied to. I think the whole family. I think everybody was lied to, and they wanted to support her.
Yes, I do understand that. And I think the reason why they're going out there in the forefront with her, because she still has not made any statements. And I think it's embarrassing. I know that she is caught, but I don't understand. I was just telling my husband, I think it's weird that you don't know that you can be tracked. Everything that you do on the internet is tracked. They can track your phone. You know, we're getting onto this whole, we're taking our page from overseas with the CCTV. Everything that you do can be tracked. You know, you threw your wig on the side of the street. She was doing a little too much, and now her and her family are going to have this stigma, and it looks bad on the whole Black community. Like, we have to rise above these things. People, it's already hard to get attention for the missing Black people that are already here in America, and now it's all bad. I also.
Anthony, who left the cocaine in the White House?
You know what? Be quiet, Darius. I also wanted to touch on the story about the lady in Dubai. I feel strongly about that. I'm literally tired of some Americans, taking their privilege over to other countries and disrespecting other people's cultures. It's ridiculous. I think because here in America, you do a crime, they make you serve your time, and then they deport you. I feel like the same should go for her. Why should we be bending over backwards? She knew what she was doing, and I don't think being drunk as an excuse is an excuse for her to be. Yes, you have to be accountable for your actions.
I agree.
Okay, I'm gonna let my husband talk.
All right.
Don't curse.
Oh no, I ain't gonna curse. Makes me military. You know, with me good attention not going on like it on my page. But I haven't. I agree with her on everything. I agree with everything you say. One thing is, you're not gonna talk about the cocaine in the White House. All these little aliens that people that happen to be running around playing in the tree houses in people's backyard. We ain't gonna speak on that. Hello?
Go ahead, boss.
Yeah. I said we ain't gonna talk about the half-used bag of cocaine in the White House.
Oh man, we got some.
Or the little aliens running around these people's tree houses.
Hey, the alien story went away. The alien story went away, didn't it?
No, you know what? No, next week they're supposed to be having a hearing. A House committee. A House committee public hearing about this. But I said if they ain't got people like George Knapp there, then they gonna try to pull the wool over. And Klein Lewis, people like that, they gonna be trying to pull the wool over our eyes. But man, I don't know what
you make great content.
Yeah, you do. I just got on to you. My wife was telling me about you. I just jumped on there. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm lying, just like you said. Don't believe nobody. I'm lying like bug. You know what I'm saying? But it was great talking to you. And yeah, you're gonna be hearing a lot from me. Just listen to the shit, Barry. You already know I'm coming.
It was great talking to you, sir.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate y'all.
No problem.
I know. Shout out to them. That was fun. Shout out to the couple. Hey, y'all write them up, but y'all please call back again soon for sure. Call back next time. Alrighty. Yeah, that was very wholesome. Yeah, you got to talk about the cocaine and the aliens and everything. Now we're gonna see if they talk about the aliens for real. If they're gonna be really serious or if they're not gonna be serious. We're gonna see how that whole thing plays out. All right, let's go to 314 in the line. Who am I speaking to? All right, I don't know what happened with 314. Got a little nervous. All right, it's all good. It's just you and I. And for first-time callers, I think it might have been the first-time caller, you have to have your ear to the phone because you cannot talk to the screen. It's going to be a little bit of a delay. All right? So y'all can also call through with an email. That'll be in the description box because you are on Skype as well. I have the phone number and I have the phone number and also the video and voice combination through the email in the description. Let's go to 470. You're on loud speaker to 470. Hello, 470.
Anthony.
Yes.
Hey, it's Craig. How you doing, sir?
It's all good. What's happening?
Yeah, it's Craig from Wild and Wacky Atlanta, man. Yeah, I just saw The Sound of Freedom tonight. And, wow, it's pretty shaking ever seeing that movie. I had to call a friend of mine who also saw the movie.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's stirred up a lot of emotions and really messed up. Wow, just terrible. It's been a really messed up day. Had a driver on Northside Drive, or Northside Parkway, actually try to run me off the road. Actually, they want to make their right-hand turn at the last minute. I had to go into the turning lane to avoid hitting them, having them hit me and swerve around them.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, people they just drive however they want to drive. They don't really care about causing accidents. It's a mess. I see it all the time.
Yeah, it's doing about 52 miles per hour on the highway. I'm sorry, on Northside Parkway, and you're supposed to go about 35. Then I get to Publix, and I hear a couple of black ladies in their early 20s complaining about America, saying that they don't like something with American flag on it, and America hasn't done anything for black Americans, and it's just horrible. You know, trash America. So I called back and I complained. I said, my ancestors fought for this country. You know, the First World War. I had one ancestor that fought in the Civil War on the side of the North, which the end result was the freedom of slavery in 1865. You know, I said, I don't appreciate that kind of trash talk about America. I love this country, and I support it. And, you know, I said to the manager, I said, you know, America first. You know, God bless America.
Absolutely, right on.
And so she wanted to talk to those people, and it's just ridiculous. And I said, you know, I also said to her, I said they should, you know, go back to Africa and see how much better it is.
Uh-oh.
You know, yeah, they'll be grateful that they're in America.
Well, if you're born in the were they African or were they born in America?
They're Americans.
Yeah, so you can't go back to where you're not from.
Exactly, but I'm saying, you know, they should go to Africa and see how it is, and see, you know, that they're better off in America.
Right.
If that's not the case, why do you see so many people from Africa coming to America?
Everybody wants to come here.
One of my customers owns 2 bars and works a full-time job, and he's from Nigeria. So where's the white supremacy there, right? You know, how is he being held back? He came to America to thrive, and he thrives. That's my point. People that are born here, they're in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, they take it for granted. I've traveled to 14 different countries in my life, 9 by myself. I've been to Latvia, you know, where if you burn the flag, you go to jail. If you curse at somebody, and you're talking about crimes in foreign countries or whatever, freedom of expression, where if you curse at somebody in Germany, you actually can go to prison under Section 185 under the German law, under the criminal code. Yes, you can't say F you to somebody in Germany. You can go to prison for a year.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right on. America's the best country on planet Earth. Everybody wants to be here.
Yeah, if it wasn't, you wouldn't have millions of people trying to come here, not only legally, but to break into our country, you know. So, anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say for you. So, yeah. Man, thanks a lot. I appreciate you. I'll continue to support you, and keep up the good work. I really like your videos. I like the way you're branching out. You're not only covering political videos, but you're covering social issues as well, like the girl that got kidnapped in Alabama.
Yes.
Yeah, I run through a story back in, sorry, not to carry on, but back in January 2019, there's this white, sorry, it was a ice chest or whatever, left by the road for about a week. And people, they kept driving by. Somebody opened it up one day. There's a dead baby in there. It's in Troup County. So if you ever see a chest by the side of the road in the highway, don't open it up. Call the police.
Definitely, absolutely.
Sorry, man. It's been a really long, stressful day, so it's hard to get my thoughts together. Thank you very much. I'll let you go. You have a great night, and Truck 2024.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Take care. Bye.
All right. Shout out to man for the call. Yeah, I can tell you was a little bit stressed. Yeah, you get careful about some of these comments you make. You say somebody go back to Africa, you can't say something like that if they're not from there, because now we're just getting into something else. It's like I know he was just frustrated, but I had to check him on that. Like the Libertarian Party, they put something out with Nina Turner, and Nina Turner was talking about. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just show it on the screen right quick. And this is an example of, you just got to kind of be careful of what you say, because you probably don't mean it that way, but once you say it, you're not thinking about how it's going to come out to the general public. Let me just go ahead and show it to you right quick if I can find it. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. So this is what they said. So Nina Turner, let me see if I can find this, if I can put it on the screen. Nina Turner was talking about her normal socialist things. Insulin should be free. Medicine should be free. And then the Libertarian Party in New Hampshire says Nina Turner picking crops should be free. Picking crops? How did we get to slavery? We're talking about government spending, basically, because that's what that would be. Insulin and medicine. You're talking about socialized healthcare. You're talking about just government spending. How do we go from there to talking about slavery? You see what I'm saying? Now, they probably think in their mind, we're talking about forced labor, because if a thing is free, then somebody's made it be, they got to do it for free, although they're not doing it for free. They're trying to make that comparison, but it's like now you get into racism when that wasn't even brought up. So the original argument that was made is now gone. Now we're talking about something else. So that's not how you go about that. That was probably just a mistake that people make all the time. So just make the mistake no more. All right, let's keep on going here. Let's go to 951 on your line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, this is Paul from Riverside County, Southern California. I wanted to call you and give you a white pill.
Okay.
All right. First of all, here's the black pill. We're on fire right now. There's a big wildfire going on here. That's the black pill. Second of all, the white pill. All right. So I haven't called you in a month. And last month was Pride Month. I wanted to tell you about a parade that we had here in Southern California. This was our Cherry Festival parade, and this is something that's going on for 102 years. So we had this is what we had at our parade. We had Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. We had military veterans, and we had the Vacation Bible School. And they were going out, passing out their stuff, and having a good time. It was very family friendly. This is not the whole Pride stuff is not going on throughout Southern California. It's not going out. It's not through California. This is in cities. The main part is in cities. The stuff that's going on, that's with this Pride thing that was going on last month, that is only in cities. It's not going on in small rural towns.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, we're like this. These places are very conservative, and a lot of people want to spit on a lot of people want to spit on California for having these kind of ideals, but it is not. It's not accepted.
The problem is the problem is that the cities dominate the state. So any kind of statewide policy is going to be made by the cities, and the cities are going to, they're going to be overwhelmingly that way.
100% agreed. The other thing, you shouted out to Kiki for her birthday a couple months ago. She broke her leg. I'm taking care of her, and she's doing well now.
Well, I'm glad to hear.
So shout out to Kiki, and shout out to ABL.
Right on, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. And shout out to you guys as well. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. 512, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABO, this is Daniel from Austin, Texas.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, ABO, it's going, man. I just wanted to call and run something by you and the audience, and I'm veering away from the topic at hand, but it goes with all of these undocumented immigrants coming in across the border, right? Mm-hmm. So we're told that we're supposed to that the reason for opening the borders is because we want to be sympathetic to these people because they're escaping, whatever the heck it is that they're escaping, the lies that they tell us. But I've been thinking, and a lot of this has to do with what I see in social media, on the news. Just most recently, I saw this video posted on Twitter where they showed all of these young men that are coming across the border with these wads of cash, new clothes, looking sharp, looking better than I do. And God knows I bust my ass 24/7, And one of the things I wonder is, we say that these people are coming across, and one of the conspiracy or one of the theories is that these people are, will be instrumental in the mail-in ballots, and that's why they're coming over here. But I think it's a little bit more sinister than that. And again, I'm just throwing this out there for you and your audience. But check this out. Governor Abbott, again, I live in Austin, Texas. Governor Abbott loaded up a bunch of these immigrants into buses and deployed them to all of these sanctuary cities, right? Now, I don't know the details about this, whether or not these people were recorded, documented, if anybody kept record of them. But we are dispersing these people into these inner cities, these major metropolitan areas. Now, a lot of these are young men. Now, who's to say that these young men aren't here? Again, yeah, maybe somebody's financing this, but what if there's more of an ulterior motive? Maybe they're not just immigrants, but these are actually soldiers. And they're being placed instrumentally in these areas. And when the time comes, that's when they're going to be activated. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they're going. We don't know anything about them because nobody's keeping track of them. So, I just wanted to run that by you, again, you and your audience, and see what you thought about what I'm thinking here about the whole purpose of these so-called immigrants or refugees or whatever you want to call them coming into the U.S. Do you think that maybe there's a possibility that these folks are, in fact, deep state soldiers, or, and I hate to use the term deep state because I don't want to get nobody banned, especially you, my man, but, just if they are dirty, these could be dirty players,
I mean, that's definitely a possibility. Because if that was the goal of a rogue nation, to implant people here that are going to destroy us from the inside, it wouldn't be difficult because the border's wide open. We know the cartel are here. We know that for a fact. Mm-hmm. There's already been cartel killings here in the States. They're already operating here in the States. Yes. So what you're saying is not really too far off of what we've already witnessed with actual evidence to prove it. So I think you're pretty much on the right track there, boss.
Well, the one thing that bothers me, you and I can see how this is a possibility. However, it amazes me that nobody on the mainstream media is throwing this out there and saying, hey, what if, and I feel that is reason enough that we should be tightening up our borders, building up that wall, enforcing those laws. And whether you're on the left, the right, the middle, the up, down, I don't care where you are. Our safety is on the line here. Our well-beings are on the line. Because if this theory proves to be true, and again, I'm one of those people that thought that the COVID vaccine was crap, and I'm a tinfoil hat wearing, and so far all of our conspiracy theories have been proven right. This is one of those conspiracy theories that I think may be proven right, and it scares the hell out of me because we don't know how many of these people are here. We don't know where they are. And they keep pushing to disarm us. They keep pushing all of these mandates. They keep pushing to open the borders. It's scary, man. It really is. And I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I look at everything and I try to connect these dots. And it just, to me, that's what it seems like they're doing with everything they do, especially what we're seeing going on in the White House. I mean, come on. They found cocaine in the White House, and we just now learned that they also found marijuana. Something is going on. Something ugly is going on. And I think that these people that are coming across the border are playing a role in that something that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have a point.
But anyway, that's all I wanted to call in because I noticed that nobody talks about this, the possibility that these are soldiers. Nobody's talking about it. And I just wanted to call in and just throw it out there. And also, first-time caller, long-time listener, I love your show. And to you and everyone listening, like Jesse Lee Peterson says, happy White History Month, folks. Love you, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, take care.
All right, shout out to the caller. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling here. 206, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Steve from Missouri.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, not too much. I wasn't even planning on calling in tonight, but you had like two different people tonight that kind of got my attention because they said things that I had said once before, and that has to do with like the wokeness and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think people don't know how badly it's infiltrated, and you're not even aware where it's at when it first comes in. Like originally, I was from Seattle, and that used to be a pretty conservative place growing up, but over the years turned liberal. Anyway, when I first kind of became aware of the whole woke thing infiltrating, like you had said it perfectly, like how the cities run the state. It was finding out that the school district was basically the city school district was dictating which books the other school districts in the state were going to get. And if they didn't take those books, then they didn't receive other money, things like that. It was kind of, an intimidation thing. So it's kind of like, take this curriculum or you don't get money. Seems to be money's always, the motivator in this. But, and another thing where these things infiltrate, you don't really expect it. A friend of mine was in a construction business, and he wanted to get a promotion, like foreman job, and he couldn't get that without like a sociology degree type thing, And, anyway, he ends up going to that. Completely changed him. I mean, this guy is Kentucky born and raised, really conservative dude. By the time he got through all that, he was a changed dude. You know what I mean? And now to keep his new position, he has his crew beneath him, and he's got to keep them in line with all the things that he's basically picked up in this sociology classes, which is where a lot of the the woke curriculum and stuff was being passed in colleges and stuff. But anyway, I was just kind of pointing those out as a few examples of how this stuff infiltrates where you don't even know it. And like I said, I'm living in the South now, and I'm seeing these things, pointing them out to people when I see them, but it's like, it's insidious, so it kind of creeps in there before anybody really realizes that it's got a hold of you.
Right on, man. I'm with you.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I kind of went on a while there, but like I said, I just had to get that off my chest because there's a few people that brought that up, and I was like, well, don't let your guard down, man, because this stuff's probably already in your backyard.
That's
right. Anyway, thanks for getting me on, and good talking to you, and I'll go back to enjoying the show here.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye now.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And shout out to you guys. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's go to 504 on the line. Who must pick it to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. So first of all, I have some things to talk about. And while I was calling in, the power went out again. And I was just in like complete darkness, but the power's on for right now. It went out earlier in the show, and now I'm glad it's back on for now.
All right.
Yeah, so I think like with the hoax people are talking about, it's okay if you made a mistake. I mean, these people can be very good at masquerading a certain way, and it's no big deal. What these con artists do, it's not people shouldn't get too upset over it.
Right, yeah. I mean, mistakes happen. People, they put out lies, and sometimes people fall for them. It happens.
Right, and you always do great reporting. You always do excellent at it. And look, I didn't know a lot about the story. I liked your coverage on it, and I wasn't even really too sure what was going on myself. But it's no big deal. It's all good. And yeah, with the thing in Dubai, I saw that. And yeah, people need to not, like, when they go to these other countries, they have to keep in mind what can happen if they don't act properly and correctly. And she was obviously doing things that were wrong, and they just think that the way they act in America, they could just act everywhere, and that's not true.
Exactly. 100% correct. People get spoiled by America because America is so free. They don't really realize how they behave is not the way that you can behave all over the world.
Exactly. And right, in America, I feel that people may be, as you say and chat was saying, a little bit too free, and they need to not riot and do all these things they do, and they need to respect the flag and the country. And, we're all from here. Like, I was born here, although my dad's family's from over there in England. We're all Americans, we're all here. We don't need to go back to where we, originated from, because we all originate maybe from different places. But here, we should all respect the flag and the country and get along.
Right on. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And about the news, I think that is interesting. Now, like the Titan submersible, I've been covering it like on my channel, and yeah, they're saying how it could have crashed. Like there could have been an electrical issue too, and then it like imploded. But the media hasn't really been covering that or the other alien story in Las Vegas. If it, I believe it happened, but whatever happened, if it was real or not, like people, they're not covering it, and they seem like they go in cycles about different things to, for their agendas, I think.
Right, of course. There's always an agenda to try and accomplish.
Yeah, and also I think it's just, they want to cause these things where people need to know what's going on, and even if there's darker topics, people need to know them, and also balance it out with different things. But yeah, so I think they try to set people in predictable patterns of response because that's what they expect.
Right.
Yeah. And also, yeah, with the drugs, I totally, understand your point. Like, because people say, like, I don't do any drugs or drink anything anymore. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't have one drink of wine or something in the future, but I don't drink anything. But so basically, I see what you're saying about, like, the weed, that other people that are doing harder stuff can be associated with that. And then it would bring those people in and more people. I see what you mean by that.
Yeah, see, the thing is, it's like when there's in society where there's one drug in a taboo space, it kind of exists there and no other drugs are able to overtake it. So as long as weed is in a taboo space where it's kind of legal, kind of illegal, you're not going to have other drugs that jump over it and get into into that same space. But then once weed is gone from the taboo space and it enters the more just general mainstream, then the next drug occupies that place. So let's say mushrooms, for example, a few years ago, you wouldn't see anybody eat psychedelic mushrooms on television, But since it's now
Right.
in that taboo space, it's kind of legal, kind of illegal, you're going to see that. And then that creates a situation where it's less serious and it becomes more regular. And then it's an easy way to move it into just like weed, not really a big deal, right next to cigarettes and alcohol. And then it's a constant cycle that always happens to the point where all drugs are like that.
Right, exactly. And because I think that, like, with the psychedelics, in my opinion, which that's something I would never do, I feel that from what I've researched, people can have reoccurring trips. And the thing with reoccurring trips is, like, their mind is never the same. And I'm, a Christian. I believe in the supernatural stuff, and that it brings people into these different dimensions that they weren't supposed to see. And I believe it's in the dimension of some of these bad aliens. I think they're fallen angels also, things like that. And it's something really bad for the mind. And yeah, it's like kind of like give them an inch and they take a mile. I'm glad that you pointed that out. And another thing is I understand somebody wouldn't want to live next door to somebody that was a crack addict. And I remember, like, these people can look, I've seen them on the streets sometimes, and they can look really creepy and crazy looking.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then just try living in a place where a bunch of them congregate. I mean, it's going to be. I've lived there. I don't recommend it. It's very dangerous.
Right. And I have a question of your thoughts of now. Why do you think, in my opinion, what do you think? Why do you think crack is more in the black community? Am I wrong about that, or is that a thing?
I'm not sure. I think that's not necessarily the case anymore. It might be because the way that it worked in the 80s, it was a big thing for a lot of drug dealers in the inner city to make a lot of money. So they would sell it in the black community, but it's kind of hard to explain. So basically, it would be in the black community, and then people would have access to it right away. But also, others will come in to the community and buy the crack. A lot of whites and everybody else will buy the crack and then leave. But since the dealers are right there, right next to the addicts in the community, it's more visible. But it was all over the place. And the same thing is going on now with the heroin and everything else. People think that it's a white thing, when in reality, black folks who are right there in the community, they're high on the drugs, but others come in from outside the community and use the drugs, and they take it. Sometimes they stay right there. That's why you have the neighborhood in Philadelphia that's like that. People come from other parts of the state or the country to drive there to use their drugs. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they don't.
Oh yeah, that was very well explained, and I'm glad that you explained that to me because I'm not, I wasn't around back then, so I wouldn't really know about that. But yeah, I know Pablo Escobar he was responsible for a lot of the cocaine from Colombia that was going into the United States, and also, there was ones in Mexico and stuff that were bringing them in. Yeah, so also I believe China is bringing in a lot of fentanyl to the United States. Is that true?
Well, what China does is they bring in the precursors. So there's Chinese chemical companies that actually sell chemicals to the cartels, and the cartels will make the fentanyl from the precursors, and then that comes into the U.S. So it's a joint thing between the Chinese and the Mexican cartels. Okay.
Yeah, I see. And they're working together. Yeah, basically, in my opinion, since I'm an alien, I think that the Greys must have put the crack in the White House.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I want to give a shout out to Chat and Sprite. I wasn't able to text her back in the chat because of my the power, and also Georgia Peach is in the chat. All right, ABL, thank you for taking my call, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, crack in the 80s was crazy because, people are saying in the chat it's cheaper. Yeah, it's just that, cocaine was like the rich white guy. That's still the thing now. That's why they find the cocaine in the White House, right? Some rich guy in the White House getting the morning bump. The cocaine was like the rich drug. People that were partying in nice clubs or whatever, they were using the cocaine 70s, 80s or whatever. And then when crack came along, it was a way to just make it available for cheaper. And then that hit the inner city like a bomb hit the inner city. And that was also not necessarily just the black community, but we just happened to be right there and it just hit us. but it also spread out to other people that wanted to come in and get the crack. Hunter Biden, prime example, right? And a lot of the other drugs are the same way. Emanates from the city and then goes out. But if you want to, smoke meth and do the pills, that's a whole different story. That's going to hit Appalachia and whatnot. You don't see a lot of crack smokers in Appalachia. You see a lot of people that are on pills or meth, because you could cook meth in your house, but that's a different story. And I digress. And of course, heroin is really big in the mountains, but because it's pills, right? A lot of the opiates. Okay, somebody has a back problem, they get put on opiates and they get addicted, and then since the pills are so expensive, they go to the heroin because it's the same thing, just a cheaper version of it. And then here comes the fentanyl, which is also from Big Pharma. The fentanyl is much stronger, but it's too strong to the point people die all the time. Now you got high overdose deaths, 100,000 OD deaths, and 2/3 of that or more, 3/4 of that is from fentanyl specifically. But let's keep on going here. The number to call 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and go. Who am I speaking to? 757?
Yes.
All righty. What's going on?
Yeah. Hey, I was just listening to his live, and I was wondering if he heard the story of my daughter, Kayla Hamilton, who was murdered by a MS-13 gang member that was allowed in this country.
I've not heard about that story.
Yes, she was 20 years old. She was living in Aberdeen, Maryland with her boyfriend in the trailer park. There was a illegal immigrant who was renting out rooms. Her murderer was arrested at the border of March of 2022. He had a criminal record in El Salvador, and he had the MS-13 tattoos, but the government failed to check his body and his record. They just checked to see if he had a record here. I've been in front of Congress already sharing her story, and the illegal immigrant that was renting out a room to him, and he wasn't living there no more than 5 days before he brutally killed my daughter, who was autistic.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And court is happening in October. And I just wanted to get her story out and to bring awareness on what else is happening with the border.
Well, hopefully you get justice, and we definitely need to close the border down because we don't need any more stories like this to happen. Your daughter should still be living. She still should be here with us. And unfortunately, we're going to hear more things like this if we don't get the border under control. So I'm sorry for your loss, and hopefully she gets justice.
Yeah, and then, that's why I'm sharing her story and trying to share it with whoever I can. And unfortunately, he's 17, and the government, he cannot do life without parole because supposedly he's a juvenile, but they can't track his real age. And then Child Protective Services knew that he had a criminal record, and they put him in a group home with other children and also put him in a foster home, knowing that he was the main suspect of murder. So, I don't want this to happen to anybody else. Kayla Hamilton did not deserve to go down like this. She just turned 20, and she was murdered 3 days after her 20th birthday.
Wow.
It's the worst nightmare a parent could ever get. And I appreciate you taking my call because people do need to know what is happening. And all I'm asking for is the people to be properly vetted and background checked to know who's coming here, because we don't know who's coming here. And And yes, I mean, this could have been prevented.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you for your call, and hopefully your daughter gets justice. Thank you for calling.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. You know, close that border down because we don't need any more stories like that. 773, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, I'm so happy that you squeezed me in tonight. This is your retired Chicago police officer friend. I wanted to give you my analysis on that Carlee abduction. And I also wanted to comment on why, you were so trusting of her and wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Here's the thing, ABL. I believe that her parents are just so happy. They were duped too, and they're just so happy to have their daughter back, safe and sound, that they want to protect their daughter from the media or getting upset in any way or having her do anything like commit suicide or try to run away again or anything else. They just want to protect their daughter, and they're happy to have her there. The thing is, ABL, you were 100% correct in your analysis on your video during the week about her, in that this does happen. This happened in Chicago where two girls, they lured a couple guys on social media to come over, to party with them. They went over there, and the girl's boyfriend, gangbanger boyfriends were there, and they shot and killed. They tied them up. They shot and killed the one guy. They were about to shoot and kill another guy. He ran out with his hands tied, ran to a railroad security guard, where the offender killed the security guard, and then a Chicago police officer who was on his way to work saw this and killed one of the offenders. Of course, the girls were like, "Oh, we didn't know," and this and that, but they were all charged with murder and attempted murder. So this does happen, ABL. But in my estimation, the reason that you wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt is look at where she's from. She has two loving parents. Obviously, her house and the neighborhood she lives in is a little bit more affluent. It looks like they raised her well. But the media and the streets and social media and everything else has a way of warping people's minds. And here's the policeman's take on it. If it does not make sense, we start to become very suspect. Number one, what didn't make sense? A little kid walking down the road. So she made up the story that there's this little kid in diapers walking down the road. Number one, that kid's going to be seen by other people. Number two, if they really were to use a little kid to lure a complete stranger, they may have lured me, because I would have stopped for a little kid in diapers walking on the side of the road. And they would have been in trouble if they tried anything with me or any other human being, including you and many, many others. So a little kid walking in diapers is not a specific enough bait to get the fish that you want, which is a vulnerable young girl. If you throw that bait, that little kid walking down the road in diapers, if you really throw that bait out there, that bait will stop anybody. It might stop the police. It might stop, 5 guys in a truck. It's not going to be specific enough to stop what you want, which is a young, beautiful black girl that we're going to abduct and God knows what. So that's suspect number one. It doesn't make sense. And when it doesn't make sense, usually it's not the truth. The fact that nobody else seen this baby, the fact that, the whole thing, the mistake people make when they lie to the police and others is that they try to be too detailed and specific because they're trying to think of a story that is plausible. But what they don't realize is a lie is a lie. And, you become too detailed with it. So I was suspect from the very beginning, and it didn't make sense to me. And I also when I was on the job as a policeman, we took these things very, very seriously. When somebody was away, when a kid was missing, and remember, I worked midnights. So I'm looking for a young kid at 2:00 in the morning. He's away. Let's check let's check the aunt, the grandma, the kids' friends and things like that. So it didn't make sense from the get-go. And I was very leery and suspect from the beginning. And I don't blame the parents. They're happy. They're happy that it was a lie. They really are, because their daughter is back. That's the only important thing. We care about nothing else except our daughter returning safe to us. And we'll work everything else out. So we're going to, round up the covered wagon, so to speak, and protect our daughter. So I understand that. But what that does, and you've said it yourself, it makes it harder for when it really does happen. When it really does happen, people start to, right away, they're suspect, and they don't try as hard, or they're, to look for her, or they're, you just made it bad for everybody else. And it's a real shame. That's my take on it. I hope my analysis of what you were feeling is right, because you want to give people a benefit of the doubt. And everything in the background kind of pointed to giving this girl the benefit of the doubt. But the story didn't allow me to give her the benefit of the doubt. It didn't make sense. She just couldn't come up with a good enough story. That's a ridiculous, ridiculous story that she came up with. That little kid walking down the road, that's going to get anybody to stop for him. Right. So that's my 2 cents on it. I'm glad you got me in so I can get that in there, ABL. And thanks for taking my call, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Great call. Great way to wrap up the show. Thank you guys for being here. Them 3 hours went by so quick. It's like I just sat down. Now I'm getting back up. You guys are the best audience anywhere in the world. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me throughout the show. If you enjoyed the show tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. You're also listening to a podcast right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether it be Spotify, Google Play, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. This episode will be available for absolutely free, audio only, at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time. Now, we got super chats right here. I'll read those right quick. Then I'll wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Thank y'all for joining, for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. Thank you, bottom of my heart. Appreciate y'all 100%. All right. Now, let me get the super chats right here. Then we'll keep on rocking, and I'll see y'all again next time. Thank you to Jackie Lorelli, who says, I work in Portland and the drugs are over the top. I use an on-ramp and see the same dude laying there again without moving for days. Dead is a normality now. Sad world. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Thank you. Rebel Out of Reason says, ABL, when are we going to get Trust Your Mama t-shirts? I need to get those on. Thank you to Lothair, who says, there is a forest in Japan that is reportedly haunted and it's easy to get lost in. It's called, I ain't gonna try to read that. Agahara, come on, let's not. It's a forest. I'm trying to learn Japanese culture and customs language as well. Thank you for that. Bo versus Windshield says, Biden just ordered 3,000 USA reserve troops to Europe. Do you think this is a long-term play in Ukraine? Of course, yes. By China to reduce our ammo, troop supply. Oh, is it a long-term play in Ukraine by China to reduce our ammo, troop supply, so they can make a run on Taiwan? That's a good question. I don't think we're going to have that kind of problem with running low on supply. If anything, that'll be the Russian Federation. But since China creates everything, since they manufacture everything, I don't think that'll be a problem either. I don't think that's going to be a problem, because Russia has so much of the natural resources. China has a production, and they got the labor for it. So I don't think they can really do anything. I think that's just us trying to really almost fight Russia directly without fighting them directly. Try to find a way to weaken them without getting into World War III and starting nuclear war. But it won't work, so it's kind of pointless. Take it to Lothair, who says, I'm planning on next week to catch a Sound of Freedom. Thank you. Hey, that's a good movie to watch. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you to Hollywood G2K4, who says, hey, ABL, I've been following you for 2 years now. I watch your content every day. I heard you say that you were wrong about Carlee. It's okay. I was too. Keep up the good work. Thumbs up. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Buck vs. Windshield, who says, I lived next to Yakima, Washington in the 80s. Yakima had the nation's highest murder rate. Men lined up in orchards shot. Cartels are embedded here. It's crazy. Thank you to Bina for the super chat. Is that a salt emoji? Thank you to Bina again, who says, it's all distraction when they say, look down, look up, catch my drift. Buck vs. Windshield says, there's no aliens in the White House. It's Irish now, so leprechauns. Only if we could hunter those critters down. There you go. They get a Devin, who says Stephen Hilton banned from YouTube for exposing Hollywood child trafficking. Still able to view a series on Rumble. Thanks, ABL. Thank you to Joe Davis Media Network, who says, also, don't believe no one. Yeah, I ain't gonna believe nobody. Everybody says, hey, man, enjoy your show. We're like, yeah, whatever. But no, I'm exaggerating. You guys are fantastic. I'll be back live again on Saturday, same bat time, same bat place. And I got videos coming out tomorrow. I gotta say that I was wrong about Carlee. I'll put that one out, and I got a few more I'll be talking about tomorrow as well. So I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded content. And if you like what you hear, if you like what you see, share it, like it, do all that good stuff. And if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.